Hello, welcome to Mystic Maidens. This is a podcast where we read fantasy books and then give you our thoughts. I'm Lena.
I'm Adalia.
And I'm Jordan. And we mostly read romance fantasy.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
throwing that out there. We're not reading fucking Game of Thrones.
Oh
on
my
this
God,
podcast,
hell
sorry.
no.
Love the show, but no. We're
Or
not
Lord
gonna
of
be reading-
Rings.
Nope. We're not going to be reading any
Lord of
of
Rings.
those.
Yeah.
Definitely not reviewing Lord of Rings. But we
Lord of
are going to review Fourth Wing,
Fourth Wing.
today by
Mhm.
Rebecca Yarros.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all 700. No.
700.
500 pages.
Damn. The next one, though,
It
looks
felt
much...
like 700 pages.
the next
I don't know if that's
one's
good.
looking a little more thick. I saw
Oh, yeah.
an unboxing of the
Yeah,
next one
it's beautiful, the cover.
Unboxing.
from the author.
Mhm.
She was comparing the two books, and it looks like it's about maybe 200 pages longer.
Did anyone read the acknowledgments?
No.
No.
She's Christian.
Oh.
Nothing wrong with
Ah.
that. I just thought it was interesting.
Interesting.
Mm.
Literally, she was like, I would like to thank my heavenly father. And I was like, oh.
The Heavenly
So that
Father
was just
of
an
Dane.
interesting.
God,
Interesting
I did
tidbit.
not mean to say the Heavenly Father of Dane. I meant to say Zayden. That cannot be in the pod.
No, we're keeping that in.
We're Dane fucking haters.
Heavenly Father, Zayden.
Zayden.
Mhm.
Yes. Heavenly Daddy.
Mhm.
Daddy's Aiden.
Now I understand why you were so on Shadow Daddies.
Yes.
He is a Shadow Daddy.
He
He
is
is a
the
shadow
ultimate
daddy.
shadow daddy.
He is.
Because
God,
he.
he's
Oh wait,
so
we need to
hot.
wait, guys. We need to do
Exenitos.
before we go
Oh, yeah.
further. We
Okay.
need to do a little spoiler. This
Yes.
podcast is for somebody who has read the book, or you don't care about major spoilers, because we're gonna talk about everything in as much detail as we can.
Or someone who doesn't want to read it,
Yeah, if you don't want
Yeah.
to read it, and if you want to listen to a podcast instead, do that.
which is
Yeah.
kind of
Listen
crazy.
to this.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
All right, should I do this?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so again, this is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Very interesting. She mostly writes romance books, so this is definitely a romance fantasy book.
Oh,
but
for sure.
literally, if you look at her list of books, it's all like kind of, dare I say, cheesy romance. Like based on the titles, I haven't read any
Like
of them,
Colleen
but
Hoover?
Colleen Hoover moment.
based on the titles, they just look like typical cheesy like romance books. Like I can bring up her Goodreads, but go ahead, Lena's gonna read the synopsis.
I'm just gonna.
Perfect.
I'm gonna read from the book.
We'll go into more detail after this. So this
Now you're
part
right.
will be spoiler free, but after this, it's going to get spoiler.
Okay, I'm gonna read out loud, which I hate, but it's fine.
You got this.
20-year-old Violet Sorrengail was supposed.
Cut.
Okay. 20-year-old Violet Sorrengail was supposed to enter the scribe quadrant, living a quiet life among books and history. Now, the commanding general, also known as her tough as Talon's mother, has ordered Violet to join the hundreds of candidates striving to become the elite of Navarre dragon riders. But when you're smaller than everyone else and your body is brittle, death is only a heartbeat away, because dragons don't bond to fragile humans, they incinerate them. With fewer dragons willing to bond than cadets, most would kill Violet to better their own chances of success. The rest would kill her just for being her mother's daughter, like Zayden Riorson. How do you guys say
I
it?
said Riorson.
Riorson?
Oh, I said
Yeah.
like Rarison, but I don't know. I can't. It's not right in front of me.
There's
So.
no E in there.
Well, I'd be adding letters. So.
There's no
You're
pronunciation
crazy.
guide either.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, I did
Rebecca,
Which is
that.
annoying.
Next
Rebecca, come on.
book, put a pronunciation guide. Some of the dragon names, I'm
Oh,
like,
Zayden's dragon, Skegel,
I'm like
Smeagol.
in my mind. It's like just gibberish.
yeah,
I know.
same. I'm like,
I know.
anyway.
Okay.
Anyway,
continue.
keep going.
Zayden Riorson, the most powerful and ruthless wing leader in the Riders Quadrant. She'll need every edge of her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise. Yet with every day that passes, the war outside grows more deadly, the kingdom's protective wards are failing, and the death toll continues to rise. Even worse, Violet begins to suspect leadership is hiding a terrible secret. Friends, enemies, lovers, everyone at Basquiat War College has an agenda, because once you enter, there are only two ways out: graduate or die.
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed this book. I liked the
Mhm.
lore, which if Adalia wants to talk about the lore
Yes,
of
I
the
want to talk about
the
the
land.
Lore.
Just some
So
basic stuff.
we've got the land of Navarre, which is where the college is, and this is kind of like our main focal point for the book. They are protected by a magical warding system, which protects all of Navarre and the Vale, which is where the dragons live. I did want to point out that there's no Vale on the map, so
We're suspecting
we
it's
want to know where it is.
We're suspecting it's a realm.
It could be a realm. It
It
could
could.
totally be like somewhere they like just go off, but also like
Yeah.
put it on the map, put it in the corner.
Yeah,
I want to
know.
know. So I'm curious. I'm like, is it close to Navarre?
I assumed it. I thought it was in my mind. I thought it was like over here,
Yeah, part
which is
of
like
me-
above
the-
Navarre
to
in
the
the little sea.
Left.
Oh.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
at one part of the book, I was thinking the Vale as, you know how in the Hunger Games when they put them into like the big dome?
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
thinking of like a big dome,
Oh,
kind of. Maybe
interesting.
not dome, but like something that goes like a forest, but like there's walls to
Oh.
it, like kind of, I don't know.
like a ward within itself.
I was
Kind of, not really, but like it's kind of
Okay.
hidden, like with, I don't know, mountains or something. But then the other part of the book, I was imagining it in the literal sky. I don't know why.
That's
Oh.
also
They
a
live in the
possibility,
clouds.
That is
They
honestly.
a
fly. So I don't know. Maybe it's in the sky. We don't know where it is. Rebecca, please add the Vale to the.
Yes, I want to
Map.
know. I was imagining like a beautiful like valley with like
Okay, yeah.
rainbows and
Yes.
things.
Kind of. That's what
Like
I'm kind of
grassy.
saying.
Grassy like valley like in
Yes.
between mountains with like beautiful rainbows and waterfalls
Yeah.
and
Yes.
like magical.
Mm-hmm.
Referencing a different series, but can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay, in Blood and Ash, the Vale is kind of like a realm within itself, though.
It is. Yeah,
so
but
that's kind of what I was
yeah.
thinking.
Yeah, that's more of like afterlife, right?
Yeah,
But
Well-
it get there's a lot of from Blood and Ash
dude.
references in this
Seriously, I'm like, did she read Blood and Ash?
book. She has
Because
to have.
the tropes are so
know.
similar.
And honestly, funny that you brought up Hunger Games. I was getting a lot of Hunger Games.
Oh
vibes.
yeah.
Hunger Game
yeah.
and Divergent.
Yes.
Yes.
Especially with the love trio,
Mhm.
Violet, Dane, and Zayden.
Yes.
Was giving Peeta
And Gale.
and Gale
Oh,
so
so
hard.
true.
Yeah,
So,
so
hard.
yeah, literally Dane is Gale.
Oh yeah. Dane is Gale and fuck him.
Yes,
He's so fucking annoying.
Dane is so annoying.
I'm like, yeah. Anyways, okay, back to the lore. So we've got this land of Navarre. We've got the wards all around them. The wards are to keep all other magic out, so all non-dragon magic, because as we know, dragons have this deal with humans where they bond strong riders that can in turn channel powers from them and then help protect not only Navarre but also the Vale, which is the dragon's home. So they want to protect that. So it's kind of like a mutual agreement of protection. There are the Griffin Riders. Griffin Flyers, as they said in the
Oh.
book. It's different.
Technicality.
I know.
Mhm.
The Griffin Flyers who live in. Did we decide how we're going to pronounce that? Prominal?
Oh God.
Yeah.
I
Promonal?
wish there was
Yeah,
a
there's no-
pronunciation guide.
Well, I
Poromal?
don't even remember
Poromal.
how it's spelled. Yeah. Oh,
Paramial.
gosh.
Paramial? Yeah,
yeah,
I would love a
Paramial, that makes
pronunciation
sense.
I would
guide.
say
Yeah, Paramial.
Paramial.
They live in Paramial, kind of isolated. They're like at war a little bit. Well, they were at war for like a
said that
long time.
They were
Years.
at war for like 400 years, but now there's an agreement where they don't really like each other, but they agreed to trade 4 times a year because they
Yeah.
have different resources in their land as Navarre. But I think it's all kind of, I mean, can I see the map? I think it's all like one big land, right?
It is. It's
They're
a giant
just-
continent. It's just
Yeah.
There's the mountain
yeah.
range that kind
Okay.
of splits it, but
Yeah.
That's
so, and Poramiel? Oh my God.
Paramiel.
who knows?
Paramiel. They are not guarded. And that is what
Mm-mm.
all of Navarre thinks is the threat. They think that they're protecting the Vale and Navarre from the Griffins and the people of Paramiel.
Yes.
But we
It's-
find later that's not the case.
It's actually the Venin and the Wervin who
Mm-hmm.
the leaders of Navarre have kept a secret, and none of the citizens know that they even exist. And they're
Mhm.
like this huge threat, destroying all these like villages and
Mhm.
lands outside of Navarre, and
Mhm.
all the Navarre citizens are like completely in the dark, including Violet.
Yes, Violet thinks that it is they're like fantasy creatures.
Like fables.
Yeah, fables, because there was a book that her dad would read to her, and I'm pretty sure she brought it to the college, didn't she?
She tried to, and Mira was like, nope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You're
But-
right. She
yeah.
tried to because she had it growing up, but what she realizes later in the series or later in the book is that maybe it's not a storybook. Maybe it's an actual textbook that was
Mhm.
supposed to be destroyed, but her dad kept it because her dad is a scribe or was a scribe.
And they were all of them were destroyed.
Yes,
Oh.
in
And the
all of the
scribe.
books.
And then her
Or
dad
about
sent
it.
her a letter saying, "Oh,
Mm.
maybe the fairy tale or myth. What are they called? Fables.
Fables.
Labels.
Like maybe they were passed down knowledge."
Yes.
Yes, so true.
Yeah.
But honestly,
Okay.
Violet was suspecting something because during like classes and stuff, they were being really weird about like.
oh yeah, when they
battle
asked for
brief.
information.
Battle briefs.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, honestly, I was annoyed with Violet because I was like, she's so smart. She would literally, when she was scared to be brave, that she would go over like fucking history
Her history. Yep.
in her mind. And I'm like, Violet, like, you're not this dumb.
Yes. So yeah, so Violet she was supposed to be a scribe. She spent her whole life leading up to this wanting to be a scribe, training to be a scribe. Her dad's a scribe, but her mother is what is she? A general? She's like
General Sorengale.
yeah,
Yep.
so she's a general, and her mom was basically like, "No, you are going to be a writer." So, and I think we learn later that Violet kind of wants to prove it to herself that she wants to be a writer as well, and she wants to kind of carry on the legacy or whatever. So, yeah, so she from the very beginning is kind of at a disadvantage. She's like smaller, weaker.
Because she's literally this big.
Yeah, that was
And her bones are glass.
Yes.
I feel like they're just
That
paper
was
skin.
one of the most
yeah.
annoying aspects of the book. I
Mhm.
kept waiting for like this big reveal of like why she was like
Yes.
made of like glass, fucking like rubber and like just breaking all the time. I was like, you know, like there has to be some like reason, like a curse or something. No, she's just like insanely like weak and like loserish.
I know.
Loserish.
I don't understand.
There was at one point they said that it was like a joint issue.
Yeah, it's like, does she
Yes.
have like
She
a
must have-
genetic disease?
No, I think she has like an autoimmune
No,
issue.
literally, I think that I don't know if it's going to be revealed later or if
they should reveal it in this book.
I know.
well, so like this is a fantasy book, so I mean it sounds like she has fucking arthritis, but But-
times 1,000.
does she does arthritis exist in this
Right.
fantasy land?
I just wish they like explained why.
I know.
Like it was
Mhm.
so like vague, and then everyone's like, "Well, it's just your body's different." It's like why?
She just-
why is it
she
like?
has
Can you tell
some
me why?
sort of disability
I want to
apparently.
know.
or disorder?
I want an explanation.
Also, is she like 4'5"? Like she can't even
She's
ride
like
her
Polly
dragon.
Pocket size.
Yes,
She can't even ride her dragon. Oh my god, the part where she can I go this far ahead?
Do it.
I mean, yeah.
She's literally like she can't even ride her dragon, and she flies off her dragon. Her dragon has to catch her. Taryn
Yeah.
has to catch her
Yes.
like multiple times.
And he has to freaking like kneel down to
Oh,
let
yes,
her
it-
get
yep.
onto,
Yep.
which dragons usually don't do that.
Mhm.
We can get to all of that probably later. We can maybe talk about the beginning at first, but
Zayden also makes her like a fucking
A saddle.
a saddle.
yes, oh my gosh,
was really
you know
cute.
what was I know we're going off on a tangent, but I noticed at one point, there was a reference to Zayden having a saddle. Did you guys pick up on that?
No, I did
Mm-mm.
not.
It was like, and I was like, what?
like
It was
Wait.
after.
because he's made one before. Is that what was that a reference?
No. Like he has a saddle on his dragon,
Oh,
like actively. Like there was some. I don't know if this was like a typo or something, or like a miswording, but I think it was in the battle in the end when they were flying, and it goes, yeah, because he jumped off his dragon. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the name, and then like
Skiggle.
yes, fought the venom, whatever, and then it says, oh, and then Zayden jumped back into his saddle,
oh,
and I was like, did he make a saddle for himself too?
Is he
Because why?
4'6"?
Yeah, he's like the most powerful like
Yeah.
rider ever.
But he has a saddle.
But also, I think a saddle is kind of, why not?
I would put a saddle on a dragon.
Oh
Why?
my god.
Why?
How are you holding on?
I know.
They're going upside down.
What's the mechanics of them holding on to this dragon?
What are they holding on to?
What
Just
are
a
their What are
scale.
their feet on?
Nothing.
What are they like fucking
I
white
know.
knuckling the scales?
I know.
Yeah.
Like, is
What
there
a strap.
horns?
Oh wait, is there a strap?
There's a strap
There's a
over her
strap.
thighs. That's how she
but
stays
yeah, that's
in.
how
doesn't
she stays
usually
in.
have it.
But is there like
Honestly,
horns to grab
Everyone
onto?
should have.
Yeah,
The
there's
horns?
something.
No, they're not that far up. They're at the base of the neck where the wings meet in the back.
Yeah, I would like to know the mechanics of this.
I would love to know
What's
like
the science
what it
behind
looks
that?
like.
Mhm.
I know because she's too small. That's why she can't stay on. But I'm thinking,
Like
like,
she's also so weak. I think it's more for weakness than her
so
size.
are these riders just like fucking death gripping these
I
dragons?
think they are.
I don't know.
But you think about
I
like,
would die.
that.
I would die too.
I feel like that takes away from the ability to like fight, like because you're constantly trying to like hold on, like
Yeah,
you're using all of
totally.
your concentration to hold on, unless like there's, I don't know, it becomes like second nature. But that just seems like you're getting whipped around, like looped around, like it just seems like why not have a saddle? I'm for that.
Yeah.
Put a fucking saddle
agree.
on. Who
Put-
cares?
Put the
Yeah,
saddle
put the
on.
saddle on.
Yeah, but going back to Violet being mentioned how small she is, that is like something that annoys me so much in any kind of book, fantasy or not. When the
Mhm.
girl's like, "I'm so tiny, I'm so small," it's like, okay, we get it. You
Yeah.
mention it
Yeah.
once, and then we'll remember. Like we remember.
Yeah.
The whole time she's like, "I'm so petite, I'm
I'm-
so small, I'm so."
I mean,
and it's
this
like,
was a huge part of the
okay.
book.
It's
I
literally
know.
her
I
only
don't like.
personality
I don't
trait.
like when it's like the character's main, like personality trait. It's like
It's her only one. Name one other personality trait she has than
It's-
other being
she's
other
smart.
than being small.
She's
It's
a
giving
scribe.
uppy.
She has so much knowledge.
She's smart. So there's two personality traits, and half of it.
and
is
she's determined.
short.
she's
and she's brave.
yeah, she's brave,
I'm a Violet
brave,
hater. I'm sorry.
determined.
Sorry about that. That's okay.
Yeah,
she's
we can.
yeah, she's just
She
annoying.
lacks depth.
She does, and
She
it's
does.
But this
and
is
it's
the first
frustrating.
book.
I've seen
You've seen enough?
no, I haven't seen enough. I'm gonna read. I'll definitely read the second one, but I felt like there was a lot of fluff. Honestly, you guys, the first like 2/3 of this book were hard to get through for me.
Whoa.
Very
Controversial.
interesting.
Dahlia-
Controversial. I know.
Dahlia said 100 pages in, you're like, this is fan fiction.
I did.
Oh no,
I did.
I
100 pages in,
know.
I was like, this
That's
is
a
like
death
Wattpad
wish.
read.
Dude.
Dude.
What?
Do you guys? Do you?
Damn!
But hey, it got way better.
Mhm.
The ending was good.
I know. I was
I
like,
liked the
wait
ending.
till the dragons.
I liked the ending, but a lot of it, I was bored.
Okay, guys, we got a little carried away, and we're
We did.
going to do a timeline because that's going to be easier for you guys.
And easier for us because then we can kind of bring up things we didn't like and did like
Yes.
from the beginning. So
yeah, we were getting a little crazy. We were acting
We're
like
jumping
this
ahead.
was one of our just talks.
Yes.
yeah,
Zayden was like muddling my mind a little.
so true.
His
So-
shadows took over.
Ooh.
His shadows were telling me what to do. I had no control.
Okay. Okay,
So-
let's do the timeline. So, Violet, well, it starts with Violet getting ready for the parapet.
Yes.
Mhm.
And her sister is like, you can't take all this fucking shit, bitch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She gives her some boots and she fixes her
Yes.
hair because she tells her basically somebody's gonna grab your hair and you're gonna die, and also you're gonna
Yes.
slip off the parapet. So you need to wear these boots, and they take
And-
out the book that she got from her dad, the
Ding, ding, ding.
fables,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, she goes across the
Wait,
parapet.
wait. Dragon corset.
Oh yes, of course.
The dragon
And
scale
then-
corset. This is a
yes.
huge component of the
Yes.
book.
She gets the dragon scale corset
Which
from her
I want one.
sister, which is very cool. And apparently nobody fucking has ever heard of it before
Mhm.
because whenever people find out about it, they're like, what? But her sister makes this. Her sister made it for herself, right? When
Well,
she
it was a dragon
in-
scale from her sister's dragon.
Mhm,
Yeah.
So she makes it into a basically, armor that Violet
Impenetrable.
can wear underneath
Impenetrable.
all of her clothes, and she wears like all the time basically, even when she's sleeping. And her sister tells her, when you get across the parapet, look for Dane and avoid Xaden, because Xaden's dad was the
Ben.
who led the rebellion, and then once the rebellion got taken down, Violet's mother had all of the rebellion
Leaders.
executed, and then all of the kids from the rebellion got kind of like a tattoo to signify that they said in the book to
Mark them.
Mark
right?
them as traitors.
mark them as traitors, but also show how forgiving the government was for
Mhm.
allowing them to stay alive, basically.
Yeah.
So forgiving,
yeah.
marking them forever.
Yeah, marking them as
Literally.
traitors. And then once they get into the war college, they're not supposed to gather in groups of 3 or more, because that could be considered like,
Oh yeah.
what's it called?
I mean,
Rebellious
treason.
Yeah,
activity.
treason. So yeah,
Yeah.
rebellious activity. So they have to stay apart from each other as well.
Yep.
So does anyone want to talk about her going across the parapet and who she
Yes.
meets on the other
Mhm.
side?
I have something quick to say. Honestly, I know it like built up the story a lot, but like I was very surprised that she gave her boot to this random girl.
Oh,
Rhiannon,
yes,
I know.
Rhiannon.
Rhiannon. I was like, you
Idiot.
literally met that girl 2 seconds ago
Mm-hmm.
and you're giving one of your boots. Like, I was like, whoa, like that's hardcore.
It is. I think, yeah, she's too trusting. And that another
She is,
important
yeah.
thing about before she got into the college. So I think it was like they're not supposed to have weapons on them, but whatever you bring into the college, you get to keep. So she put
Yeah.
her sister gave her a bunch of daggers to strap to her. So she had weapons
So
when she
slay.
went across the parapet. So she was not supposed to technically have those. But since she came into the college with them, she got to keep them, which Violet throughout the whole book has a lot of cheat codes. You know, she really
Mhm.
skims by, like, and she kind of cheats her way through, which we'll talk about
Majorly.
later. Yeah, majorly.
Like
like
majorly.
we'll talk about that later, I'm sure. But so whatever, she has daggers on her, and then she gives a boot to Rhiannon because she sees Rhiannon doesn't have the correct shoes, and she's trying to be nice, but also it's like, you need all the help you can get. Like,
Yeah,
maybe you shouldn't have done that.
It was
but
a little I was a little
Mhm.
bit like, what the fuck?
yeah, it kind of
She
stupid.
created an alliance though.
Yes, she did.
I
Which
mean,
she
it could
needed.
have gone horribly
Mm-hmm.
because I do think Violet's too trusting. I mean, she comes from the scribe quadrant, or
Mm-hmm.
you know, wants to be a scribe. So I think it does kind of match that she wouldn't she would be too trusting because she doesn't know really. She's in a new world.
Yeah, she's kind of
So
naive.
I think it kind of makes sense. It worked out well, luckily, or else she would not be here today.
No.
Yeah, and this is just a small tidbit, but I feel like Mira was really making the school, making it seem like it was super like cutthroat.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
There was like one scene where I felt like it was like super cutthroat, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not too cutthroat, but
Like, I don't know. I feel like they were like making it seem more deadly than it was. I don't know.
I think Mira was so worried because of who their mom was. A lot of people have a reason to basically kill Violet, and that's what they tell her. That's why they say
Yeah.
stay away from Xaden, because Xaden's like so super powerful, and also he has a reason to kill her. And you can basically kill people if you want to, but yeah, it doesn't really happen too often from what it seems.
No.
But it is cutthroat in a sense, like, because there are less dragons to bond with riders than there are riders. But yeah, there is a threat, but yeah, it doesn't really talk about in the book people being like too cutthroat. So I think that was kind of silly, but yeah, I don't know. So she makes it across the parapet. Jack freaking chases her down
Jack
and
almost
tries to push her off.
This is where their like beef starts, right?
Yes.
On the
Yes.
parapet.
For no reason, because he's not the son of a rebel, is he?
No, he's just
He's
an
just
asshole.
Yeah,
he
he
just
just
sucks.
he has it out for Violet for no goddamn
Yeah.
reason.
Violet had a slay moment though when he crosses the parapet. She puts a little dagger to his throat.
Yeah, and
Xaden watches that, and I think that's where Xaden was like,
Wait, to
"Ooh."
his throat?
or his stomach
Or
or
something.
something.
Or
Something.
wasn't it to his balls?
Oh yeah, it was to his
Oh my god,
balls.
it was to his balls.
It was to his balls.
You're
Yeah.
right.
And then I think that's what started his like undying hatred, because he was like, you fucking almost stabbed me
almost
in the balls.
castrated me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should freaking
It was like embarrassing for him.
Yes,
Yeah, it was.
embarrassing. So true. And I think, did he mention how like, oh, she's not supposed to have a knife? And Xaden was kind of like, well,
Yeah, he was like, you deserve it.
maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so she makes it into the parapet, or she doesn't make it into the parapet. She makes it into the college from the parapet, And then she finds Dane, who I found this part so weird of the book. Like, they were childhood friends, but the way they're talking about it, it makes it seem like she hasn't seen him in a really long time. Has it only been a year since she saw him, or was it much longer than that?
She said it's just been a year because he's her second year and first years aren't allowed to communicate.
Yes, so
but
true.
It did, yeah, they talked a lot about like their very young like childhood memories and not like anything recent. And I don't know if that was like the author really trying to get the point across that they've known each other forever, or just like
it really
they weren't as close as they were as kids, or
I know they kept saying like, oh, they were childhood friends, and I'm like, okay, were they not friends leading up to him going to college? Were they childhood friends and then they didn't talk, and now, or they didn't talk much and then they didn't have any contact that first year, and now she has to go make friends with him because it's like her only ally at this point.
Yeah, it really seemed like it was like 10 years.
It literally. I don't know. I did not like that. But she goes and talks to Dane, and Dane's like, what are you doing here? You need to be.
Yeah. It's like, go to the scribes, you bitch.
Yeah, literally. Like, it's not too late to take you to the scribes. Like, we're going to take you to the scribes. And she's like, hold up. No, I don't want to go to the scribes. Like, I do want to go to the scribes, but now that you're telling me to go to the scribes, I don't want to go to the scribes anymore.
Yep.
And she already runs into Xaden, and she's like, oh shit, he's going to kill me. But, he doesn't kill her. But Dane puts her into his...
Well, he tries to, right?
No.
So he does put her into his...
Rhiannon, too.
Yeah. Her, Rhiannon, into... What are they called? The...
Sections.
But Xaden is a squad leader?
Wing leader.
There we go. Wing leader. And they... So I don't know. All the names.
There's just a lot of names for these quadrants and shit.
I know.
There's the sections in the 4 different wings.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a lot.
Even though she is in Dane's section, they are under Xaden's wing.
Well, okay,
it was moved, right?
You remember? Yeah, it was moved. So originally she was in first wing, and I think it was Xaden.
Xaden wanted her.
Xaden wanted her in the 4th wing on his wing because
he wanted to keep an eye on her.
He wanted to kill her.
He wanted to keep an eye on her.
Yep.
Also, it's funny. Like, they mention so much that frickin', Violet's so weak, so brittle, blah, blah, blah. And like that, so many people want to kill her. Like people had so many opportunities to try and kill her. Like
that's what I'm saying. It's not super cutthroat.
She like there's a couple attempts made that we can talk about, but not as many. Like if somebody really wanted her dead, they could have killed her. So
that's what I'm saying. It was like I feel like there was this big hype of like this is so deadly. Like sleep with one eye open.
Yeah. Like you literally can't sleep.
Yeah, you, like literally never turn your back on anyone. And like there was a few incidents, but like nothing crazy.
No, Jack could have. Okay, she's wearing the dragon armor, slit her throat.
Yeah,
in her sleep. What?
So
no
true.
one tried that.
Yeah, no one tried. Yeah,
he just happened to like try to stab her in the stomach when she was sleeping that one time, which we'll get into, but. Yeah, I do definitely think that was like overstated.
I know,
and then kind of like didn't follow through as much.
It didn't.
Like
there was
I was
so many
expecting
times.
a little bit more and a little bit less. Like we're going to class.
Yeah,
didn't that jar you
dude,
guys?
Yes, dude, that totally.
You're going to class.
I know. I was like, all right, you're not gonna like have a death battle every morning.
Yeah,
I mean, they did have battles, but it was like nothing crazy.
It was a lot more like formally structured.
I know.
In the actual college than like I think we were expecting. I think we were expecting more of like
Hunger Games.
Arena, like Hunger Games, like fight to the death until that. Like there was almost like safe periods of time where they were safe. Like they didn't have to worry about being killed or whatever. Like, those specific, like on the mat, like they weren't allowed to intentionally like kill someone or, moments like that. Like their own section, they couldn't kill each other, like they were safe, or those like rules like that.
And people still died throughout the book, and like somebody did get killed on the mat, and they were like, "Oh, you're not supposed to do that," but it already happened, so whatever. But yeah, it wasn't like it was cutthroat at parts. I felt like, but other parts, I was like, it wasn't like a constant fear of like Violet dying. I felt like
no, and I feel like people that died, it was like almost natural causes.
So true. People just falling off
Almost.
shit.
What is almost
Honestly,
naturally
most of the
causing
people died from falling off of stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
That's what
yes.
I'm saying.
Just
That's a
saying.
natural cause
like the
in a way.
parapet, the dragons,
yeah.
threshing.
and
Well,
so many people got burnt
Yes, the
alive from the dragons.
dragons.
I feel
Yes.
like the main threat was the dragons.
Yes.
Dude, it literally
before
was.
They were bonded.
Dude, the incineration by the dragon. So
that
sad.
was.
We
Yeah.
should.
We'll get into
Yeah,
that.
we'll get to that. So
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
I know there's a lot to talk about. Honestly, this book had a lot of ups and downs, like
Mhm.
good and bad. What happened next, guys? Dane tells Violet that his power. I don't know how to actually say it.
Oh, the mind. Memory
He can
reading?
read people's mind, which is important. He can read people's mind when he touches people's arm, which apparently is a very powerful gift, and he's gonna
Mhm.
get a good job after
Mhm.
college because of it. Oh, also, just sorry, one more thing about the classes things that you guys were talking about, which we'll talk about probably later. They only go to 2 classes. They have Battle Brief
Yeah.
and the mats, the training, and that's like it.
Do-
Oh, and
do they
then
have-
once you
they
learn your power, you get to go to a special learning how to strengthen your power class. But they only have
Yeah.
those 2 classes, right?
Do they have a history class?
It's Battle Brief.
That
is about-
it's
yeah.
the combo.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's yeah. Interesting.
So Violet and Rhiannon, I think this goes with the timeline, become friends.
Mhm.
Yes.
And they
Mhm.
decide that I think Rhiannon saw how small and weak Violet was
flimsy and-
and was like, you know
pale.
what? I'm gonna teach you how to fight and you're gonna teach me history.
Yes.
So that creates this alliance between them. And I think Mira said, don't make friends.
Yeah, she said don't make friends.
Oh yeah.
What does Violet do? Immediately, she's like, you know what?
Immediately.
Here's my boot.
Yeah, here you go.
Bestie.
Bestie alert.
Mhm, mhm.
You know what I think is so interesting that I didn't really realize till you talked about it a second ago, Jordan? Dane literally never once tried to train Violet
Yes.
Never
with
once.
anything. Like Rhiannon was like, "Girl, I'll help you. Like
Mhm.
I'll help you train." And then Dane literally like, "You need to leave."
Dude,
But then she's like, "I'm not leaving." And he's like, "Ah!" And doesn't he doesn't offer any of his skills a single fucking time, which is
He-
crazy to me. Like that's your best friend.
mm-hmm.
That's why I'm confused. Like,
I don't
are they
believe it.
actually
He wants,
How
he wants
close
to
are
make
they-
sweet love to
they?
her. He what's the word? Infantilizes her. Whatever. She's an infant to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's a babe. She's
And
a
She
baby.
I-
kind of does.
and he-
She kind of do be acting like a baby.
He literally giving misogyny. He's like, I'm man. I take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know those massages were like so weird. Like I was like awkward feeling.
Wait, the what?
When he,
Misogynist?
like gives her those massage. Isn't that what you said?
It's a misogynist. Same thing.
Okay, the massages though, like
Oh,
so
yeah.
like randomly,
Yeah.
like all of a sudden he's like massaging her
It's because
neck.
he's freaking
Yeah,
touching
ew.
her so he can read her memories.
Jesus.
Oh
You
my
really
god, my own
think-
theory. I forgot my own theory.
Yeah, Dane.
He's so
Whenever
fucking
he
creepy.
touches her,
Ew, what
he
a
can read
snake.
her memories.
It's a rat.
But yeah, Dane is ready, so he's worse. But like I was saying, I feel like at the beginning I was like, he's trying to protect her, but whatever. So going off of what you said about Rhiannon saying that she would help Violet train. Basically, on the first day they go to like the mats to train. Violet fights Imogen.
Imogen.
Imogen. God, I was saying it awfully. Imogen tries to kill her, but she's wearing the corset, so she doesn't
Mhm.
die. And Imogen is also a rebel or not a rebel, but the child of a rebel, a marked one, whatever. So I guess that's the first instance or the second instance of a cutthroat moment. Like she tries to kill her and she's wearing
Imogen
the
breaks
freaking-
her arm.
Yeah, she almost rips her arm out of the
I
socket.
forgot about
And then
that.
she-
and then she has to go get
She has to
healed.
go
Yeah.
get
Yes.
mended.
Also, I'm like, how
whatever.
long does it take for your fucking arm to kill though? That takes a long time.
Did
Well, it
she-
kinda reminds
didn't
me
she
of-
get mended?
Well,
Not
I was
healed,
gonna
she got mended,
say-
so
right?
is the mending like fast healing?
The mending is like
Oh yeah.
it's like it's like magical. Like they can heal anything like
oh my
immediately.
god. Okay, Violet, be more courageous in your fighting then. You can get healed.
no, but that's the whole thing is that she's there with like the mender and she's like, I can't do this again. Like this is the only time because if I keep doing this, it's gonna look like a weakness.
I thought
Which
that
is like,
whatever.
You're already cheating with the poisoning thing.
Oh, yep, that's my next note.
Yep, we're getting
I
into the
was
poisoning.
just gonna
Yep,
say.
let's get to the poisoning.
Okay, Jordan.
Well,
what do you-
before this,
Oh, sorry,
about
sorry.
the mending. So it totally, first of all, reminded me of Harry Potter whenever they went to the infirmary and they drank the like potion or whatever. Like and it just fixed them immediately.
Yeah.
But also, I thought that was so freaking stupid. Like, there's healers that just like patch you up and like send you on their way, and there's menders that can literally heal you. Why would you not get healed by the mender at every time? Like, why would you say no to that?
Because Violet's dumb.
It's
Yeah.
stupid.
She's a lot of
Like,
pride.
why would you? If they have the ability to just fix you whenever, and it also talks about how she used to go there all the time because she's constantly breaking her bones. She has some sort of something.
She has some.
She got something.
What is this illness?
It's the biggest
osteoporosis,
fucking
arthritis. We don't know.
Jordan's
it's
a
like,
nurse.
It's
We don't know.
almost like something's like her body's like decaying.
Something. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
find out later.
Her joints like are like constantly like popping out.
Mhm.
Like
She's-
the ligaments are like nothing's right.
Yeah,
And
she's
why?
fucked up
And
all the
why?
time.
I need to know why.
We
She's
love
literally
the-
always fucked up.
The disability awareness, though, you know.
I just wish
There was no
there
explanation
was an
though.
explanation.
Well, representation.
The
Sorry, I should say
representation.
disability representation because obviously
Yeah.
she has something going on and
does.
she is still persevering.
she is.
But yeah, because she's so weak, like you were saying, you can take over from here. She decides that she thinks she's gonna die on the mat.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, okay, I can't fight these people because I'm so small and petite. I'm gonna fucking
She's-
poison them. So do
Yep.
you want to talk about like at the tree?
Oh.
Well, doesn't she poison Jack with oranges?
That is
Oh,
kind of
that's-
towards the
that's-
middle.
That's
Oh, is that
yeah.
the
That's
middle?
later.
So at first
Um,
she
Oh, so she goes out one night
Mhm.
past curfew,
Mhm.
and she goes to this like tree,
Mhm.
right? The tree.
Yep.
And she's trying to find poisonous herbs,
yeah,
or
poisonous
berries or
berries.
something.
berries. And she's like scrungling around the tree
because
Yeah.
apparently she can fucking climb trees really
Yeah.
well or something because
Yeah.
she's up in a tree.
because she's not 3'2".
Mhm.
She
Yes.
keeps getting shorter and shorter and shorter.
And,
3 inches tall.
dude,
3 inches.
I need to
Not
know.
even feet.
No.
3 inches.
She's literally the size
She's
of a Polly Pocket.
Polly Pocket.
We should get a Polly Pocket and like hang it from the
And
ceiling
that's-
and be
Oh my
like,
that's
God.
Violet.
That's Violet. There she is.
Okay,
And-
sorry. Continue, Lena.
Rebecca needs to come out with like weight, height.
Yeah, how small are we talking? How small
Disability.
is this?
I need like you can't just say that for no reason. Like there needs to be something that's happening.
yeah.
I know.
I
Okay.
need to know.
Okay,
Keeping
so
it vague.
Polly Pocket's
She
in the
is.
tree,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and then she spots. Did she spot Zayden, or did she just put cloaked figures?
I think she
Um,
sees that is Zayden and a bunch
and
of other
marked
people.
people.
Other
All
marked
of
people.
the marked. Basically, everybody in the college that is marked, or it might only be the first year that is marked. No, it must be everybody because
No,
she sees them and she's like,
It's
Oh my
everybody,
gosh.
and so in the beginning, it's just Zayden and his cousin
Oh, yeah,
trying
Bodhi?
to give advice to the marked first
Mhm,
years on like
mhm.
how to survive. So she's like, "Oh, this is innocent. Like they shouldn't get
Yeah, she's
In
in, a
trouble
tree
for this.
watching them.
yeah." Like
Mhm.
she's like, "I'm not gonna report this because like, why am I gonna report people for just like trying to help other
Yes.
people survive?
Mhm,
Like she's
mhm.
very like this. Violet always thinks about like what's fair. I feel like
She's has a strong morality.
she
yes.
does very.
She also is scared because literally all of the rebels have a reason to kill her. So
Yes.
she's like, oh my God, if they see me, I'm dead. Like, I'm definitely dead. I'm in the middle of the freaking forest collecting berries. Like, nobody's going to find me if I die.
Yes.
So she thinks she got away with it. And then Zayden is like, hey, bitch, what's up? I
mhm.
see you.
Mhm.
And then they have a conversation where it's pretty much like, I'm not going to tell on you.
Mhm.
And then doesn't he say something like they like almost struck out like a bargain with one another?
Yeah, basically, like, I don't know what the bargain is exactly, but
He
she's
was like,
saying,
I won't tell if you won't tell.
Yeah,
Yes.
kind of thing. Because she was
Yes.
also out like,
oh, because she's collecting poisonous berries. I
and
don't
she
know
was
if you saw
out
that.
past curfew,
Oh, yes.
and like she could have gotten in trouble. They could have gotten in
Or-
trouble.
Maybe she was basically saying, like, you don't kill me, I won't
True.
tell.
Yes.
Or you don't hurt
Yeah,
me,
definitely
and
that
I
was part of
won't
it.
Yeah.
tell, because it's like they would like it is treason if, like we said, it's treason if more than 3 people gather together. So if they found out that all of those people were gathered together, they would probably kill everybody.
Yeah.
And
So
this was a test for Zayden to see if she would say something.
Totally.
yeah, they both were kind of testing each
And
other.
this is when he
Totally.
was like, I love you.
yeah.
I'm just
Secretly in
kidding.
his mind.
In his
Yeah,
mind, he was
secretly
like,
in his mind.
she's so sexy, that small little
Mhm.
Little
Oh my
Polly Pocket
God.
frame.
dude.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh my god, I just had a thought.
What?
How did she survive the sex?
It's a great question.
She's so fragile.
And remember that one point where she's like, "You're not gonna break me."
Dude,
I was
she'd
like,
be
"Are you sure?
broken.
Are you sure?
Her pelvic bone done.
Her ligament's gone.
Anyways, okay, we're getting too far
Yeah,
ahead.
we are.
But I just had a thought because I'm like,
No, it's a good thought too.
Girly pop.
And it's one that I thought of as well.
plot hole?
Plot hole.
Potentially. Okay, so yeah, she's poisoning people because
Mhm.
she can't fight people. She's
Mhm.
sticking it in their food because she does like the lunch or the
She
breakfast.
works,
Breakfast,
she works with
she
the
d-
breakfast staff.
So she poisons their food. She's like, have a good breakfast. You're gonna die later.
Have a good breakfast. You're fucked.
Yeah.
Well, no, people aren't dying. They're just getting really sick and
I
they
know, I
can't
know.
participate.
Right. Or they'll like
Yes.
be like
They're like,
sick on the
"Mm."
mat.
Yeah,
They're, like,
yes,
drunk.
that's what it
And
is.
so
That's
it
what
looks
is.
like
Yeah.
it looks like it keeps getting lucky because everyone's sick or whatever. Which
I-
is honestly, how is no one catching
That's
on?
what I
Yeah,
was gonna say.
I
I'm like,
know.
that's so. I mean, Zayden
So
does catch
obvious.
on.
But like,
Zayden does see that, but I'm like, no one's gonna.
I feel like once is like okay, twice is like 3 times is like okay.
She
what
does it
is
more
going
than that,
on?
right?
Yeah, she did like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then her last
that is
one.
crazy, crazy,
Who
crazy.
is- no one's paying attention.
No, I know.
No one
I
cares.
when I saw that, I was like, because her first one, I was like, okay, maybe it's just like till she gets stronger. But then she continues
She does
to
not get stronger.
Yeah,
She
she just
never
she
gets
continues
stronger.
to not get stronger, and she also just continues to poison people. Yeah, I also thought it was weird that nobody's mentioning anything, nobody's noticing. And then one day, her opponent gets sick before the match, and then
Oh.
she has to fight Zayden instead.
Mhm.
Oh, this part's spicy.
Yeah,
This part was sexy.
because like
I
they're
don't
still
even
like oh my god, like Violet's like you're gonna kill me, and Zayden's
Mhm.
like like
He's
you
like,
need to
"I'm gonna kill
learn.
you."
You need to learn.
Oh yeah, you know what? I do
I'm
remember
gonna kill
this
that pussy.
Ooh, so true.
Sorry,
I know it
for
does
real.
get kind of spicy. I remember because they're so close.
Because he gets really
to
close
each
to her
other.
face.
Tension,
He's
the
like literally-
Yes,
tension.
tension. There's
Yeah,
a ton
he
of
literally
tension.
like straddles her, I think.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
and like
'cause-
tells her how to.
Oh, he
fight
takes all her
better.
daggers, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, he
And he's like, you
disarms
don't
her.
like deserve
Oh,
these because like you were
disarms her.
just
Oh,
poisoning people. Like I know. And she was
Yes.
like, oh my god, he knows. Like he
Like,
knows. I'm
obviously,
fucked.
Violet, you idiot.
She's
Yeah,
so
she's
stupid.
dumb. Oh, I forgot. So like whenever
Oh, the
you
disarming her is so hot.
yeah, it was actually. Because I remember now, whenever you beat an opponent, you get their dagger.
Yes,
And so she
yep.
has a bunch of people's daggers that she didn't fucking deserve, but whatever.
Yep.
And so, yeah, he disarms her.
He's like,
and they,
"Get outta
I
here."
thought this part was sexy, but I also thought it was so awkward because I'm just imagining a bunch of fucking people
Everyone's
standing
watching.
watching, and he's just like,
And he's on top of her straddle. He's like,
yeah.
He's like, la, 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 la.
He's like, give
Yeah.
me those daggers, bitch.
And then everybody's just like, everybody's just watching.
Oh my
them.
god, Dane
Everyone's
was
like,
watching,
Jesus.
right?
Oh, yeah, because
Yeah.
Dane was all
Good, fucking rat.
like, Zayden, like that's enough. Like you're,
Yes.
she's done. Like she's tapping out,
Oh my
and Violet's
God.
like, I'm not tapping out.
Mhm. I know. Does she ever tap out, or does he?
Well, he doesn't
He
actually
just
hurt
like, is
her.
like yeah, he just
Well,
straps
he
her
like
down
beats
and
her
like
up a little,
Yeah,
throws
but-
around like a
Th-
bit,
throws
but
her
like
around.
she's not like she doesn't have a broken arm. or
Suddenly
anything.
she's not broken though.
No,
Yeah.
she's fine.
Suddenly she's resilient. Now they're
Yeah, the
doing gauntlet.
gauntlet.
stuff.
Oh.
So the gauntlet is this whole obstacle course that's supposed to ensure that a rider is able to like mount their dragon, like get on top
Oh yeah.
and like be
Shows
able to
their,
like
physical abilities.
yeah,
or
walk across
something.
the back of the dragon and like jump up on the back and like do all that stuff. And Violet cannot do it because
Violet
she's
can't do anything.
because she's like 2'4".
Oh,
She's so
true.
fucking short
She's
that
so
she cannot. She eventually, you know, they're training and she eventually gets to this point where she's almost to the end, but she can't make the jump or whatever.
Yeah, she can't make the
yeah.
last.
because that is supposed to mimic like jumping onto your dragon's
Yes,
back, and she
yes.
cannot fucking do it. And Zayden, she gets this advice from him. He goes, the right way to do it isn't always the only way.
Mhm.
Dude, I'm gonna say Violet cheated.
Violet cheats throughout the whole book. She
She does.
doesn't
I know,
actually
I
gain
mean-
any skills.
I know
No,
it's
she
not a
does.
technicality, but she fucking cheated.
How did
Yeah.
she get across again? I can't remember.
She
Honestly, I don't
remember
know either.
she
grabs
used,
a rope.
She used the rope to like shimmy up the chimney part, and then she throws her dagger, which is the one she brought
Oh,
across the
yeah.
parapet.
Yes.
So it's
Mhm.
considered a part of her body.
Oh my god.
And she throws a dagger and basically uses that as like a jumping to,
Oh,
and
a
then she
little
like
step stool
heaves
thing.
herself on top to the gauntlet, so she like can make it because she
Mhm.
wouldn't have been able to make the jump otherwise.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then her friend dies behind her.
Yes,
Oh,
that part
let's
was
not-
like
I don't even remember her name.
jarring.
Something with an L or something.
Dude, I remember. She was like really quiet or
Leslie.
something. Oh, Leslie? Is that her?
Leslie?
I don't know.
I don't think that's right.
Well, yeah, she freaking dies. I remember
Maybe
that.
that's right. I don't know.
I actually found that part very haunting. I was like, whoa.
That was-
She,
that
like,
was- that was
just
intense.
Slipped out of
Yeah, Violet was really
Yeah,
shook
Violet's
by
just
that.
basically
grip.
slipped. And okay, so I just read, sorry. I just
sure of myself.
I honestly, I it could be. It very well could be.
Leslie. Should I look it up?
Yeah, look it up. I just
Watch it be
looked
Leslie.
I just looked up the gauntlet because I thought I saw something about this. It's it's a vertical obstacle course, like it goes upwards,
Mhm.
and it's on the wall of the veil. So the veil
Yeah.
must have a wall around it.
Oh, that gives us a little insight.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Okay, now I'm thinking, is the veil in the mountains?
That's what I was thinking, but it must be open. Anyway, so yeah, that part was actually great, and this was over multiple different times. So so basically the gauntlet, they're doing it. They have 9, I think it was 9. They have 9 opportunities to practice going up this wall or this obstacle course, basically. And then on the last one, the different sections are ranked based on time, and I guess members probably completed it or completion, whatever. And is this the official one that she actually succeeded at?
Yeah.
Okay, this was the official one, and they're all racing towards, like, they're doing all of these challenges to. There's like a final challenge at the end that if you are the top section, that you get some sort of advantage, right?
Don't you get to go into the threshing like first with the other dragons?
No, because it was like the war games thing at the end. Like it gives you an advantage to the war games at the end,
Oh.
right?
You know what? I was kind of
Or maybe there was the
confused about the
threshing.
war
Gosh.
games. They never
Part of
really.
Yeah, they never
went into
actually
that.
got to the war games. I thought it was going to be at the end of the book, but it actually didn't even get to
Yeah.
it. So,
So like we missed that. Completely.
yeah. Anyway, well, whatever. That part doesn't matter too much. Basically, they're
Small
trying
potatoes.
to. Let's just say they're
Small
trying to
potatoes.
get points, which will give them an advantage in another part of another challenge, basically.
You know, okay, isn't it? You know, before threshing, when they went in to just like see the dragons,
Yes.
Yes, that
I
was a
think-
weird part. I was confused by that.
that the people who were like faster doing the gauntlet got to go see
Okay.
walk through the
You're right.
dragons.
Oh
Yes.
yes,
First.
yes. That's what it was.
They get incinerated first.
Yeah, I'm like, how is that an advantage?
Oh,
They're like, sweet treat.
Dude, that part was so slight. Should we talk about that? Do you
Yeah,
wanna,
let's
do you
talk
want to
about it.
talk about do you want to talk about the like the trial run they did and the actual threshing?
Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
So the trial run is right before threshing when all the dragons come down from. I mean, all the dragons that are willing to bond come down from the veil,
Mm-hmm.
and so we've got like all the typical red dagger tails, orange, the brown,
Mhm.
and this is where we first get our first glimpse of Zayden's dragon
Mm-hmm.
and Sagel.
Yeah.
Smeagol.
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 She is like looking like deeply into Violet's eyes, and they have like this moment of Violet's
Oh.
like, I'm scared, but like I'm intrigued by you, because I think it was
Real recognizes real.
Mhm. So true.
so fucking true. I think it was like kind of like a
Mm.
like the dragon knew.
The dragon
The
knew.
dragon knew like what the fuck was going down. And she was
Yeah.
like, who are you?
It's probably
Like
because
scoping her out. Yeah, because
she's
Zayden's like,
gone
oh
to
my god, I'm in
Zayden.
love.
Yeah, because
And Siegel's like, shut up, I can
Smeagol-
hear all your thoughts.
yeah, exactly.
Smeagol.
Dude, that dragon's name, I could
Fucking
not figure it out
Smeagol.
either. I was like, ugh.
Dude, that dragon name is crazy.
Skagel. I don't know what it is. Scab. I don't know.
But dude, the part I loved about this trial run is the girl that was talking shit behind
Ugh,
Violet.
I know.
She got freaking roasted.
She
She,
got
was
roasted.
talking shit. I forgot what she was saying exactly, but she was being so
Oh,
annoying.
no.
She was being rude. You weren't supposed to be talking at all. That's the thing. You were supposed to be quiet, and you were supposed to just be walking like a special distance away, like 9 feet away from each person or something, because like the dragons are irritable. And anyway, this girl was talking shit, and a dragon like killed her right behind
Yes.
Violet, and
Incinerates
she was
her.
just like, oh.
So,
like she
okay.
turned and she was gone. She was like,
But
oh
then
yes.
one of the dragons
Okay, well, remember, so
was smelling her.
they're walking. Yeah, that
Was the corset.
that was Smeagol.
No, remember another
Wasn't
one?
it?
Because no, it was a different one because
Oh,
they
it
were
was-
smelling Mira's.
Yeah,
Mira's dragon.
They were. I think it was some orange one or something.
I don't
It was
even
kind
think
of
it was
random.
her dragon she even got.
Yeah, they
No.
had, other dragons were just curious because they could smell the dragon
yes. But a
blades
bunch
in
of them
her
were.
armor. So
They
they
were-
kind of came up and like sniffed her,
Yeah.
and everyone freaked out like,
'Cause,
"Oh
like,
my
she'll
god, she's gonna
die.
die! Like they're gonna smite her right now,"
But
and she didn't.
I feel like that was a point where the dragons were accepting of Violet.
Yeah,
Even though she's
a whole.
weak.
yeah.
Yeah, because Violet did not have a standing chance to get a fucking dragon.
Dude.
It
No,
seems like.
I was like, what's gonna
I'm gonna
happen?
fucking
with
get
this
like a-
dragon?
I mean, of course she
Puny
does.
dragon.
She does. Well, she gets
And-
2 dragons.
You know what's interesting about? You're all mad. Okay, you know what's interesting about the trial run too is I forgot that they smited her annoying. I wouldn't even call her friend. Annoying
just-
squad.
Yes,
Member.
squad
But-
mate.
They smited the one who like couldn't make up his mind about anything.
Yes.
And then she was like making fun of him after he died. Like, oh, you know, like he sucks, like whatever. So then the dragon smited her
Oh,
too.
Yes.
What could he not make his mind up between?
He was just like, oh, are we gonna walk faster or walk slower? Are
Oh,
we gonna
yes.
And I think the dragons were just like,
You're done.
annoying.
you're annoying.
Blast
It's
them.
You're not a rider. Like, get out of here. It's
Yes,
very
I
much like
forgot about that part.
it's very much like if you're not a rider, you're gonna get smited by a dragon.
I love that. I
love-
love
I
that
know.
part.
That
the
part is
dragons.
so
Yeah. They're
I love that fact that the dragons are so in control. Like the
They are.
dragons run the fucking show, and that's
Yeah.
so
They-
sick.
I have such a like strong image of this scene in my head. Like beautiful grassy landscape and just dragons watching them.
Ooh, mine's like a
Yeah.
forest,
Oh,
like
mine
a
was
dense
mine was
forest
like a
with like a
Narnia.
clearing.
Oh yeah, like a meadow, like beautiful.
Like kind of like hilly.
Totally.
Ooh.
I loved it.
Yeah.
So the
Um,
threshing happens on October 1st every year, apparently.
Mhm.
And yeah, so less and less dragons are willing to bond, I guess. And there's like, I don't know, 20 people more. Like there's 20 more people than there are dragons or something like that, right?
I think it was like 40, but
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
but
like
yeah.
40.
which is an interesting thought. Why are the dragons not willing to bond
I
Probably-
think
anymore?
because
Yeah,
of
so
all of
true.
Yep.
the beef and the lore, and we'll get
Yep.
into it.
They're finicky. The dragons, they're irritable. They're finicky. They're
Mhm.
drama queens.
Okay, so then we have the threshing coming up,
Mhm.
and that is the official day where the dragons decide who they want to bond with. So they pick their riders. The riders really have like no say in who gets bonded or not. They're just trying to look good for the dragons.
Which
It's very
I-
much like Bachelorette.
I love
my
that.
God, Yes.
know, right?
I love this
Like
part.
the dragons are the
Yes.
Bachelorette,
Yeah,
and
I-
then all the riders are like the bachelors. Like, hey, give me a rose,
trying
girl.
to impress.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have to like,
They come
God,
to you.
it's weird. Yeah, they have to come to you,
Yeah.
and you basically like bond with them immediately. And then once you bond with them, you can you can talk to them. But if you can't, if you're not bonded to a dragon, you can't talk to them at all.
Right.
But it is weird because it kind of made it seem like they may be out there for days or weeks, like the way it was like the way it was set
God.
up. Like it didn't seem like it was going to be an afternoon.
It's been
It
4
seemed like it was
years.
like, okay, go in there, find your dragon or don't find a
10
dragon.
months.
Like how long did this take? It
Violet's
probably
out
only it probably only took a day,
In a
but it
tree.
seemed like it was going to be much longer in my
I
mind.
think it was a day, like book time. But yeah, it did seem like it was going to take a while. But
They're like wandering around.
They were-
too.
Yeah,
were
they're
wandering-
basically just
and
like released
Violet-
into the veil.
yes, Violet was like not making any connections with any dragons.
I
Like,
mean, surprise, surprise.
I know, like, who the fuck is going to want Polly Pocket over here?
Yeah.
Like, she's literally so weak and like cheats about everything. Like, not
Yeah.
great.
No.
But they did see the little tiny golden dragon
yes,
at
the
before
feather
the
tail.
threshing. Yes.
The feather tail.
Oh, yeah,
And
was
everyone
it-
was like, "It's so small."
And Darna.
Was this talked about? Did they see her at the
Mhm.
at the trial run? Or
Yeah, they did.
Okay,
Yeah.
she was just sitting there, and people
Because they were like,
"What the hell?"
fuck is
Yeah,
that?"
and people kind of just thought like, oh, maybe she's just curious. Because
Yeah,
feathertails
yes.
don't bond.
Oh,
That's the whole
yes.
thing.
Yes.
Okay, that's what
Feathertails
it
don't
was.
bond because people didn't realize that they were actually just young dragons. Like
Mhm.
they weren't their own
Mm-hmm.
like type of dragon. They're just young, so they can't support a rider
Mhm.
and whatever. So, Violet's out there trying to suave it up and like
Mhm.
get herself a dragon.
She's not really been doing much though.
No, she's
she's
not.
like
She's just
wandering
wandering
around.
until she overhears Jack and the other fuckheads that want to try to kill Andarna, who is the
It was
gold Feathertail.
It was Jack, Oren, and Tynan.
Oh, Tynan.
Tynan.
Yeah.
That guy sucked.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh no, my girl, my
She's like
beautiful dragon girl. Like, I need to defend her.
Yes.
I mean, small dragon,
Yes.
small girl.
Exactly.
I think she
relates.
resonated.
She saw herself in
Yeah.
Tiny Dragon.
She was like, oh, they're just, because she goes, oh, they're just trying to kill
Mm-hmm.
her because she's small.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well,
She's
I'm
like,
not
I'm gonna
gonna allow
defend.
that.
She's like, I haven't literally won any kind of like mat battle. I haven't actually learned how to do anything, but I'm gonna take on these three
people.
men
that fucking hate her.
Yeah, that fucking
Yeah.
want her dead, and they're out in the Vale, so nobody to protect her. Not
Yep.
that anyone was gonna protect her anyway, but yeah, they're like,
Roasted.
she's like, yeah, I'm gonna protect this little dragon.
Yep.
So anyway,
Yep.
what happens next?
So she runs up on them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She gets
and
fucked up.
She gets fucked up.
Mhm.
She's taken 3-on-1, starts to get fucked up. Then Smeagol
Mm-hmm.
sees her through the forest. Fucking Smeagol. Sees her through like the forest and is like, and telepathically
like,
tells Xaden
your
to
girl.
Mm-hmm.
come get his girl. And then Xaden's there like, you know,
Watching.
Yeah,
he can't
actually.
interfere because
It's
it's
against the
against the
rules.
law, against the rules. But you can tell like he takes that one step forward. Like if he would have intervened if it got that bad.
Oh, yeah.
Because at this point in his mind, he's whipped.
He simped.
So-
he simped.
Smeagol
Mm-hmm.
telepathically calls for Taryn,
Mhm.
Her husband. Her dragon husband.
dragon husband, wifed up. Smeagol's wifed up, and
So real though. Yep. Okay.
and so
Calls the dragon husband.
Taryn comes over, and he's like, "Hell no, like that's a baby.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
Like Andarna's a baby. That's a baby dragon. Like
Mhm.
you can't do that." And then so Jack's like, ah, and he runs out of there because he's a pussy.
Yeah. Jack's.
And then she's crazy up here. And then
Please.
um,
No.
Jesus Christ. He's crazy.
Okay, I have to giggle. Sorry, the husband thing.
They have like little rings.
It's just so funny. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna keep it together.
Okay, I got all of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit my vape.
Okay. Do you think like she wore like a dress and like a veil?
like wedding or something.
So fucking funny. Okay,
It's
so
just so human and modern now.
It is very modern.
they're very traditional
They
couple.
are very traditional.
Okay.
Okay, so
Calls Taryn.
Taryn
Oh yeah, Taryn frickin'
shows up and is like, you, and he speaks to Violet in his mind, and he's like, you should kill your enemy because Oren is passed out and whatever. And she's like, I won't, like, I don't need to stoop to that level, blah, blah, blah. She doesn't kill him. And then it's revealed that Taryn chose her and Andarna chose her because they both defended. Well, she defended
Mm-hmm.
And Violet
Andarna.
was like, "Oh my god, I can like hear him." But
Yeah.
then she's like, doesn't believe that she's bonded with him.
Yeah, so
Right.
Taryn
Takes
is
her like a minute. I'm
well-
like, Violet.
I know. She's
I
a
know.
little she's a
They're
little ditzy, but she's supposed to be really smart. I hate when books do this.
Yeah.
Where you're like, this person is literally so smart, but actually they're really fucking stupid.
A
also.
bimbo.
I feel like
Yeah.
she's very like book smart, but like not like
Yeah, she's
worldly
naive.
smart.
She doesn't have any street smarts.
No.
But also, so Taryn does kill one of them. He kills what's his name?
Oh, Tynan.
Tynan?
Yeah.
Tynan.
Whatever.
Yes,
That guy.
yes.
He kills him. And also Taryn is like a special type of dragon that is like that they usually don't breed to riders, right? Or maybe they didn't know that there are.
So it was Tarnan specifically who didn't breed. Breed. Did you say they breed to riders?
Did I say that?
You did.
Can we cut
Not
this.
the dragon incest.
Sorry, I'm being
Humans.
fucked up. Okay. So,
Oh my God,
Taran is a special kind of dragon that doesn't bond with riders, right?
Yes.
It's either
He hasn't
it's-
bonded in like
It's
years. or
because
something.
his
Yes.
last rider died, and so
He was
Mhm.
fucked up
their
from it.
bond is
Mhm.
very strong. And when the
Mhm.
rider dies, the dragon like suffers immensely. So he didn't want to bond again because he was traumatized.
But he's
He's
also like one of the
traumatized.
strongest, biggest dragons.
Yes.
And
Like,
so there are
huge.
different
Biggest- the biggest
types
dragon.
of dragons. There's like blue dragons, red dragons. They have
I
they have
know.
specific names. But he is like he's a black dragon, but they're
They don't come
Isn't-
around often.
yeah, there's only like a couple of
Mhm.
them even in the Vale.
Yeah.
And usually the like more common ones that bond are like the blue ones, the red ones, the orange ones,
Dagger
whatever.
tail, yeah.
I don't remember the names actually, but yeah, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's like super huge, and I kind of saw that coming. Obviously, like of
Right.
course, Violet is going to be bonded with the most powerful dragon. Why
Right.
wouldn't she?
Right. She's the main character.
Yeah, I guess.
Mhm.
So then, how does she know she bonded with Andarna again?
And
Because she can hear her.
well,
Oh,
you remember
yes.
that they have to go back to the scribe who's writing down the reports, and
yes, because she at first didn't think that she
yeah.
was bonded to Andarna.
yep, she just
Oh,
thinks
yeah.
Taryn. So Taryn goes, write my name down, and then
Mhm.
Andarna goes, and my name, and she's like, what the fuck?
Oh,
so
yeah.
cute.
I
so
love
cute.
her.
Andarna is so cute.
So
Mhm.
precious.
So cute.
And then Violet has to tell the scribe, and then everyone's like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Mhm.
And then her mom's not even proud of her.
No,
Oh,
her
her
mom's a
mom's like,
bitch.
I fucking hate her mom. I have mommy
'Cause-
issues, and it was like killing me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mom's never proud.
Yeah, because her mom is like, oh, and of course, like, basically her mom thinks she's just, like, wasted the most powerful dragon. Like, it's gone to waste with her,
Like-
Signet abilities. And is that what you say?
Signet.
Signet.
Mm.
Signet
Signet.
abilities.
I'm gonna say
There's
powers.
a lot of mispronunciation in
Oh
this
my god.
whole entire
I
book.
know.
There's so many
And you know what? We're trying our best. That's all we
fantasy
can
books.
say.
They have so many
She should have
freaking
a
terms and words. Yes, please, Rebecca.
yeah.
Make a
We're begging you.
pronunciation
It's kind of
guide.
weird. She didn't with all these names. Excuse me.
It's up to our own discretion how we pronounce
Yeah,
it.
we're literally
If
saying
somebody-
Smeagol.
If somebody comes for us about the pronunciation, you're
Kick
wrong.
rocks. You
Yeah,
don't even
kick
know
rocks.
if you're right. Okay?
Yeah, you don't even know
Yeah.
if you're right.
Yep.
Anyway, so
Okay, so everyone's like heated that
Everyone's
fucking Violet got not one but two slay dragons,
Mhm.
even if
Mhm.
one's a baby.
yeah, you can't
And
fly.
so
her.
there was an X on her back, and now there's even a bigger X on her
Mhm.
back.
Yep.
And a lot of people didn't bond with dragons,
Mhm.
Yeah.
so they're pissed. And so Violet goes to sleep and then wakes up to people trying to kill her.
Yes.
That's like the worst
Pretty
way to
much.
tell that.
No, I mean, it pretty much goes down like that.
Yeah, someone in her chamber.
Yep.
And then someone, Amber opens the door.
Yep, Amber unlocks the door,
Amber.
which she doesn't know. Oh, you know what? I think she sees. She does. She sees Amber
Mhm.
unlock the door
And then run
and
out.
then run out, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And then all these people come in and they try to murder Violet, and Violet is wearing her armor, and then
She sleeps in her armor.
she
Yep.
sleeps in her armor, which is
Smart.
Very smart.
because
Smart on her move.
yep, very smart.
Her part.
Anyway, she is about to die. She's literally about to die. Nobody's there to help her. And then it
And
is
she's 2'2".
revealed. Yeah, it's revealed that
She's 2 foot tall. 2 inches tall.
her Andarna, it is revealed that Andarna's gift is to pause time. And she
So
so
slay.
it's kind of confusing. So basically the writers get their powers from their dragon, and their bond makes their power stronger. But even though Andarna has the power to pause time because she's a baby, she cannot channel those powers into Violet, really. She can loan her the power very briefly, but it basically drains Andarna for like days. It makes her super weak, and it could kill her if she uses it too much. But
Because she's so young, right?
yes, because
Yeah,
she's a
she's a
baby,
baby.
and she can't give out her powers. But in this moment, Violet is gonna die if she does not help her. So she gives her she pauses time, which gives Xaden enough time to get to Violet, and basically he kill everybody? Like
Yeah, he kills everyone.
Yeah,
Everybody.
so he has
He obliterates them.
he has the power of like shadows, like shadow wielding. So he uses his shadows and like freaking murders all of
them.
these people that were trying to murder Violet. And that's when I don't know if, I think either in that moment or previous to this, basically Xaden finds out that his dragon, because his dragon
Yes.
is mated with her dragon, and because the death of a rider affects the dragon so much, and because I keep wanting to say Tarquin. Taryn. Because
Wrong book.
I know, it's wrong book. Because Taryn already faced the loss of a rider and it almost killed him. If he loses another rider, everyone thinks like he's gonna die. And if he dies, then freaking
Smeagol dies.
yeah, Xaden's dragon will die. And then Xaden, I think if a dragon
If a dragon dies, the rider dies.
Oh yes, okay. So and then Xaden will die. So now all of these people's fates are tied together,
Yes.
and it all is freaking in the hands of the most weak ass person ever.
Loser
And so
person
Xaden's
ever.
like, "Bitch, you need to stay alive, and I need to protect you."
Yeah.
But I love that they can talk to.
Oh, the mind speak is
The
so
mind
yes.
speak
cute.
is so good. And I
Mhm.
love that their dragons are mated.
I know, it's so
Yes.
cute.
Because Xaden and Violet can't get away from each other now.
It's the
Yes.
forced proximity trope, and I
Mhm.
So good.
love it.
Yes.
So,
I love it.
so
I
good.
love it.
And I love that there's like this like little foursome, fivesome that they all are so interconnected. And it
Yes.
slays.
It
Yes.
is slay. But
And Xaden killing all these people.
oh
yeah, I
So-
thought that part was so sick.
So hot and sexy.
Even though at this point, I felt like it was just because, like, I wasn't getting any major romance vibes from them at this point, and I felt like it really was because he was just looking out for
What?
himself. Not in this very moment. Like, I wasn't getting.
He killed
I
what,
feel
like
like
five people?
Yeah, but it was because if she dies, he'll die.
Yeah,
So I felt like
yeah, but like
I felt like at this point for me, I wasn't getting huge romance. I like was getting romance vibes, but I wasn't getting romance vibes at the same time. You know what I mean? Like I felt like in the moment it was more for Xaden's own sake than like protecting her.
So
Next day,
Violet tells Xaden it was Amber who
Yep.
opened the door
Mhm.
because Amber fucking was mad that she was it the threat
cheated
Yeah,
on the
she-
gauntlet.
yeah.
the gauntlet.
yeah.
She cheated on the gauntlet. So
fair enough, fair reason to be mad.
so Xaden tells who, the president.
the teacher is the president.
The president of the United States. no, Xaden is like his own like
He's a wing leader.
slay guy.
Okay,
So
yeah.
he goes up in front of everyone and accuses
Oh.
Amber of
Yes, he did like a speech.
trying to kill Violet. And
And-
he's like, "Girl, you're done." And so he executes Amber.
Yes,
And
which Violet didn't even know.
Violet,
She's like,
Violet's like
"Ah."
trying to,
she's like, no.
de-escalate the situation. Like, Xaden, you don't have to do this because Violet is such like,
She's
I
like,
feel
morality.
like she's so like kind of a pacifist, which is
Mhm.
funny that she's in the writers quadrant because she's like, I don't want to kill anyone. I don't want to be
I know.
responsible for
Honey-
anyone's death.
Mhm.
Like, blah blah blah. But during all of this, which I think is really important to note, is the whole Dane thing.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
He is like, Amber would never do something like that. Like immediately does
Ugh.
not believe Violet
So annoying.
at all, and then tries to read her memories
Mhm.
by like reaching out to her face, like, give me your memories. Like, I need to see this for myself, or else I'm not going to believe you. And Violet's like, whoa, like what? Like you didn't even ask. Like that's and like that's your like you're scaring me kind of thing.
Yeah, and also Violet was scared that he would see the secrets
Yes.
of Xaden
Yes.
Yes.
too.
And-
so
and-
she's going back for Xaden too at this
And
point.
Darna, because the
Yes.
time shopping.
Oh, yes.
thing.
Yes.
So it was a combo of that, but then it was also like
Like, why the fuck would you? Like, that's my
you don't
privacy.
you don't
Yes.
trust, like you don't. I'm telling you this and you don't believe me. Like
So true.
baseline, like what the fuck?
Mhm.
You know,
This is where I'm like, fuck Dane.
yeah,
him.
I
Like
totally
Dane
agree.
He
can
sucks.
suck it.
And also, we forgot to mention that earlier, like at the beginning of the book, like Violet had a crush on Zane or Dane. Oh my god, I've mixed the two
Zane,
names.
One Direction.
Oh my
No,
god.
so she had a crush on Dane, and they actually kissed after some part.
Oh,
and then she
yeah.
got the ick. She was like,
She
"Ew,
got the
I know,
never
she was
mind."
like-
she was like no spark.
"Yeah."
I know, literally, and I was
After
like,
she's had a crush
yeah,
on
I
him for
wonder
like her whole
why.
life, and then she
Yeah.
was like, "Ew, never
As soon as she
mind."
saw Xaden, the Dane crush was
Yeah.
fucking out the
Bye,
window.
Dane.
Like did not matter.
Or Dane. Why do I keep? No, wait, no, that was right. I'm getting. Oh my gosh, Dane.
Zane from One
Zane.
Direction.
So wait, so this part of the book, I literally pictured them in a high school auditorium. I don't know why. Like literally,
Honestly,
when Xaden's
yeah,
up there,
the
like,
vibe.
Oh, I
Amber
did.
is the freaking
like
like
in the cafeteria.
yeah, like they like, and then they execute Amber,
Yep.
but it's like a high school auditorium.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Did they behead her? I don't remember.
I
don't
think
think
No,
they just
she
kill
dies
her.
by dragon fire.
Oh yes,
And then
the
and then her dragon is like sad and like wailing, and Violet's
Yeah,
like,
Violet
oh my
was-
God,
yeah,
her
Violet
dragon
was-
has
yeah.
to suffer too.
Okay.
Like that's so sad.
Beheading? Jesus Christ.
Now that
Okay, someone did
Game
get
of
beheaded, though.
Thrones. Game of Thrones moment, beheading.
Yeah.
I actually
I kinda
that
wish
part
they
was
got beheaded.
actually
That'd be
really
more
sad.
sad.
Not the fact that Amber died, although I did find that very emotional and sad. Like when she was kind of like begging for her life, and then she like goes up in flames, and then that made me so sad. The dragon
The
being
dragon
sad
part
about
was
Amber.
sad.
I
Goes up
teared up.
Jesus Christ.
No, the dragon part was sad because you feel for the dragon and you're like, oh my God, it's not her fault.
It sucks.
And I don't know, I kind of didn't feel bad for Amber. I was like, you're annoying.
I didn't feel.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
felt a little
also
bad.
at the same time, I was like, Violet, this could be a slay moment for you. You know what I mean?
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
Like, you tried to kill me and now you die.
Mhm.
right.
But-
But Violet's like,
You know, honestly, Violet gives Feyre. Like, the
Mm.
morality, like, you know what I mean?
I feel like
Trying
Violet
to
is
be-
definitely more annoying.
Yeah, definitely.
But
I'm
I
just
do
saying the
think they
morality.
have- yeah, the
The
like
perfect.
the like perfect protagonist.
Yes.
Like always needs to do right. Always
Yeah.
needs to
Yes.
think about doing right against all else. Like only sacrifices themselves to save everyone else. Like very perfect protagonist. I do see that.
Yes. Yes.
And that is a little bit like one of my pet peeves in books.
Feyre's more slay, obviously. But,
Yeah. Well, is she a perfect protagonist though? Because she's like cheating a bunch. She's like literally cheating the
that is
system. She's
true.
poisoning people.
That is true.
She
That
is
is true.
just the whole inner monologue of like, oh my God.
Yeah,
like,
I think
don't know.
yeah.
I think it's mostly like the killing people thing. Like how she always goes for the shoulder and not the heart. And
Yes.
like
Yes.
always goes for the poisons that aren't gonna actually do anyone damage.
so true. She's not like
Yes.
killing anybody.
She's not. And
really.
I feel like being in the writer's quadrant, like that's gonna happen. You're literally a soldier going off to war.
I know.
I know.
It's gonna happen.
It's,
Like,
it's supposed to
you
be
need
more
to-
cutthroat.
You need to
Yeah.
accept that.
Yeah.
All right. So after this whole shindig,
Debacle.
Liam is assigned to protect Violet
Oh, Liam.
by Xaden's orders, which
Yes.
Xaden and Liam were like besties from back in the day. They had the same foster parents.
Mhm.
Back during their parents got executed because they were part of the rebellion.
What?
So the next.
Why
Will
you
you mark
look
that?
at me like that? So
Sorry, I dissociated for a minute.
okay.
So
Can we cut that?
yeah.
That was like so awkward.
Let's look over me. I'm like, I don't know. What are you gonna say?
Sorry, I'm also like leaning. Sorry.
Okay.
I like got
Okay.
so lost in my thoughts.
Okay.
Oh,
Action.
Talk about the dragon sex and then.
Okay.
Oh my
telepath.
I
God.
have so much to say about this.
this is so hot.
I feel like it's.
Oh,
Oh. Okay. I feel like it's borderline
we're both like, ew.
like weird.
yes.
The dragons are
No.
fucking
No,
each
I
other
said-
and they're turned
Yes,
on because the
I-
dragons are fucking each other. I'm like, isn't that
Guys,
I hate that. I
Zoophilia?
just said that. I
Zoophilia.
just was saying that. I hated that.
Okay.
I was like, they're
No.
getting horny from the dragon sex, and I don't like
it's
that.
so weird.
So we should
No.
probably.
I was
No.
like, why is Terrence and Schmeagol are doing it,
Mhm.
and then like Violet's like, oh my God, like literally like
It's-
crazy, and she's like, oh my God, like this dragon making me so horny.
okay, no. It reminds me.
It's too much.
It reminds me in Blood and Ash when Poppy turns and she gets.
So
Wait,
different,
guys, this is
though.
so we're dumping books.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
focus.
Well, a similar trope in Blood and Ash. I liked it because it finally got them to fucking kiss.
I do love the like. I have this feeling. I don't.
Yes.
I can't control it, but I just feel like
Yes.
the execution of it. Like,
Yeah,
why
I
did you have
agree.
to put the
Do-
dragons in there?
I do see it's
I
weird.
agree.
It's weird.
But the kissing scene is so
But it was
good.
hot. It was
They're
really
literally
hot.
like outside on a wall. It,
It
was
was.
raining too.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really hot. And
It was
like,
so hot.
The kiss itself was hot, but I agree with you that the weird, like, I'm hoping
I wasn't even
that
thinking
they're
about
not actually that she's not actually like visualizing or hearing anything. She's just
No, it's
getting, she's just getting like
God,
a
okay.
weird.
Okay, that would be fucking
It's
weird.
like a
it's a
movie.
feel. It's a feeling.
She's
It is
getting
a
like a
feeling.
weird like ooh, like she's basically just like
horny
in
feeling.
heat. She's in heat
She's
right now.
fucking Violet's in heat.
But then she goes outside. She's like, I need to go for a walk.
And then Zayden's
Right.
also
And then
out there, and he's
Zayden's,
like,
like,
"Yeah,
in
you just
heat,
have to
too.
like distract yourself." And then she
Yeah.
like kisses him,
and it's hot and
then
sexy.
It is really
It's
sexy.
literally
And
on a
he's-
wall
sends her away.
because he was like,
Yeah.
"You're not in the right state of mind."
Mm-hmm.
Ding ding ding.
Yeah.
Blood and ash.
It's so similar.
So blood and ash.
You know what I thought was interesting too is like I kept kind of waiting for like that, like the dragons like having sex, like to like come up again, like
Yeah, it doesn't
to
really
come up
up.
again,
No.
like for them to feel those
How?
feelings again. Like it was never mentioned again. They never brought it up, and it's like I know that she learned to shield later in the book, but even Xaden is like, oh, you can't block them out completely, and
Yeah,
that's
'cause
why
then
he
you
was
can't talk,
smoking.
right?
For what? That's why he was
Oh.
smoking to kind of like dull the effects. I just was waiting for it to come up again, and
I know,
I
how-
was like, did Schmeagol and
How
Taryn
often?
only fuck one time?
How often are they fucking?
I mean, they
Apparently
can't
not
be
too
apart for more
often.
than 3 days.
I mean,
so-
it is marital,
Oh,
How long have they been married?
so it's like
hundreds
once
of
a
years,
week.
probably. Let's be real.
But they can't be separated for more than 3 days.
True.
Yeah,
Is that because
I
they
love
need
that.
to fuck
weird?
every 3 days?
Yeah, it's like strange, like why they can't be
It's a lot
apart.
of
Going into that. So Violet and her squad win some challenges, and they get sent to a battle post as a
Yes.
reward, and they just happen to get sent to Mira's battle post, which she does not know because she doesn't have contact with anybody until she gets there, and then they sneak out of the battle post to go see Rhiannon's, because
Yeah.
Rhiannon's
Yep.
hometown
sweet.
is like
That
super
was really
close
sweet.
by, and so they fly
There's a nephew or
to
something.
yeah, there's like a child that was birthed or something that they want to go see, so they go see the child, and then they come back, and then Xaden shows up, and he's like, "We can't be away for more than 3 days."
And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Turns
oh,
out-
how
I love
sad.
that.
I love that part too.
Xaden shows up.
I know. And,
And-
then no, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you.
Well, this starts them being like, "Where's Xaden?
Oh, yeah.
I think I like Xaden."
I know that was
Yeah.
because that's after they kissed and
Yeah.
Ugh.
I loved
so
like
good.
the part where Mira was like interrogating Xaden, like,
Yes.
and what happens because the dragons are bonded, their fates are
Mhm.
bonded, like intertwined. What happens when you graduate and you go off, and Violet has to follow you to the front lines, and he's like, are you kidding? Like, Violet's not missing out on anything. I'm the one who abandoned my post, abandoned my squad, abandoned all my duties to come to her.
yeah.
And I was
so
like,
true.
oh my god, you're right.
So sexy.
So sexy.
He is so hot.
He is.
I want
Yes,
Xaden.
I do love Xaden. I love a shadow daddy.
I love a shadow. He is literally a shadow daddy. Yeah.
Mhm,
He is.
mhm.
So okay. So yeah.
So they ended up having to leave the
Oh, the
battle
Griffin attack.
post because the Griffin attack.
Oh, right.
And then back at the
And then Mira's like,
college-
"Bye." They have to leave
Yeah.
Mira behind.
But she's fine.
So at this point, everybody's learning their powers, and she's getting really worried because
signet.
basically she hasn't gotten hers yet. And I don't know what happens to somebody who doesn't get a power.
They explode
They explode?
after 6 months. Yes.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, they
Not the-
explode.
Not the
So
combustion.
She's
or what is
getting
that
a little
called?
worried.
What? That's a
Spontaneous
real
combustion.
Spontaneous, dude. I was actually
I
had a
forgot
fear
about
of that
that.
when I was little.
Yeah, I feel like that's like
Oh.
a common like little kid fear.
Yeah.
Is that common? Because my
I
whole
was
family
scared of
literally
it.
makes fun of me.
I was
don't-
I was
I was
maybe
horrified.
that's a mental illness thing.
It's not an OCD thing.
Maybe.
I don't know
You
if I
weren't
had a
scared of
fear
that?
of
You
exploding.
know what? Good for you.
That's
I
crazy.
had
That's a
other
crazy.
fears.
That's a crazy part of the lore. You explode.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
what
Because like the
the fuck?
power, like it was too strong, and
I
she didn't
know.
have the signet.
like literally
to-
just explode.
Yeah, that's a little
Exploded with
strange.
power. I don't know.
Anyway, she's worried. She hasn't found her power, and she's also worried because certain powers they will execute you for.
Yes.
Like there was a part where this kid
Which is
runs out,
dumb.
and she's like,
Yeah.
he's like, everybody, the voices need to stop because he can
Yeah.
he can hear everybody's thoughts, and that is illegal. So a teacher comes out and fucking
Professor Carr.
Guys,
he fucking murders her.
I
he murders him. Sorry.
I just realized why they killed him. Because he would have been able to
Yep.
read General Sorrengail's mind and
Mhm.
know that Venin and Wervin were real.
Yep.
Mhm.
So they go, oh, it's a security risk.
Uh huh.
I'm like,
For what?
who? For you,
For
bitch. Not for the
Navarre.
kingdom, not for
Navarre?
the people.
Navarre.
For you and your corrupt leadership.
Yeah, which
Mhm.
is like
So true.
honestly like a red flag. Like
Wow.
why, if you get a power from a dragon, why is that bad? Like,
Right.
and
Well, if it puts the if it makes the government
It's
look
about
bad,
to out them.
I know,
They're
but like, hello,
"You're gonna die."
writers, hello.
I know. And I feel like that's another thing that Violet overlooked. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
Violet was very much like
Naive.
naive and a little bit like in denial, like
True.
wanting to just believe
Oh yeah.
that her mom is not evil in the way that she is.
And her
actually.
mom is literally Satan to her.
Yeah. But like she doesn't know that her mom is like this whole nother level of like evil like
Yeah.
leader, not
We-
just evil mother.
We don't actually get to see or hear much about the mom really at all. We just know that she's a general. We know that she's a bitch, and we know that she, whatever, was in charge of like a bunch of rebels getting murdered. But
Yes.
we don't know much more about that. But yeah, as time goes on, we definitely learn more about the government and why it's all fucked up. But so at this point, you know, she doesn't have her sigil, but then during a practice battle where they're actually, oh yeah, we forgot to mention that, well, we mentioned it earlier. Violet cannot get on the dragon, Violet cannot stay on the dragon, and so I thought this was kind of funny. So he keeps knocking her off on accident, like he'll whatever fly around, she gets knocked off, he'll swoop and catch her. No other dragons do that.
Yep.
Dragons left and right are, if the rider falls off, they're like, bye bitch, like they just let them die, which is interesting because apparently like once the rider is bonded to the dragon, if the rider dies, the dragon gets really sad. So all these dragons are just like letting their rider die. I don't know if that's because it's early on in the bond and they
the
don't
bond
care.
wasn't strong enough.
So yeah, but I just thought that was funny. Like all of these riders are just dying because they're falling off their dragons, and the dragons don't care. They're like, whatever. But then
That's
like,
pretty
and you're
crazy.
weak, bitch. You should have stayed
I
on.
know. So it makes me wonder. It couple things. It makes
But
me
not
wonder.
for Violet. Violet
Violet's
gets
so
a
special.
Yeah,
yeah. Her
apparently.
dragon catches her.
Her
Well,
dragon, just perfect.
I know.
Yeah.
He is way too nice because it makes me wonder, like, one, if the bond is so early on, why does Xaden care? Like, if Violet dies and the bond isn't strong enough, it shouldn't affect
Interesting.
Tarn.
Whatever.
And then also, why does Tarn care if Violet falls off, like, and if she dies, like, whatever? I guess he's just being nice and he wants to give her a chance, but it's like, just, that was a little almost plot hole that I was thinking about, like, doesn't really add up, but whatever.
That is a really good point because it's like, yeah. And I feel like that was such a big point with the Unbonded is like the Unbonded riders were trying to
they still have an
kill
opportunity.
the bonded riders because it was early on enough in the bond that the dragons could kind of bounce back and choose someone else. Like they wouldn't be devastated by it. And so that's why people tried to attack Violet, like Jack and all of them. And so yeah, it's like Taryn was just like hooked on her, like you're my rider.
Yep.
Like from the
It's
beginning.
because Xaden, right?
I don't know. I think it might be.
I think
It's just, I think it more has to do with the fact that she
defended Andarna.
Yeah, that she defended Andarna, and like they thought that was very like noble of her to do and brave because Andarna's just a little baby and she, needed protecting.
Should we tell the lore of Andarna? How she's the foster?
Oh yeah, like she doesn't.
her parents.
Yeah.
Her parents
So
died.
Taryn and Smeagol have like adopted her as like a foster.
I think like all the dragons in the Vale kind of protect her though, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
all
I
the
thought that was
adult
cute.
dragons.
No,
yeah,
it
that
is
is
super
It's
sweet.
their baby.
It's
I
super
know.
sweet.
It's like Xaden and Violence's. Oh, hot part. Xaden calls Violet Violence.
Oh
That
yeah,
is
I
funny.
forgot about
I think that's
that.
so hot and cute.
I like that too.
Anyways,
At first I hated
their love
it. I
baby.
was like,
at
ugh.
first I was like, that's so fucking cringy.
oh my god,
Same,
guys!
same.
And, you know, it kind of like
It
grew on me, but like I'm still a little impartial to it. Like
Oh, I love it.
it just feels like low hanging fruit.
Oh my god!
true.
A little bit. I don't
Oh
know.
my
I
god!
don't
Sometimes
know.
I hated it. Sometimes I loved it. If I
Yeah.
was, depending what
Yeah.
mood I was in.
Because he's like, oh, you're such a violent little thing.
I like that part.
Anyways, keep going.
So they're in a battle. What is it? A battle, practice battle, which is so they're up on their dragons. They're freaking, doing whatever. Jack is also in the practice battle, right? And he tries to kill Liam. And during that practice battle, Violet discovers her powers, which is lightning wielding, which is really cool.
So slay.
Reminds me of the X-Men. What's her name? Storm.
I'm
I have
not
no
well
idea.
versed in that.
Anyway, whatever. There's
You're
an
alone in
X-Men
that.
character that can like wield the weather, and she has like lightning and shit. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But so she uses that lightning power to fucking kill Jack. I forgot exactly how she does it, but
So
She kind of made it look
She
like an
hits a
accident.
rock
She-
or
so-
something.
Oh yeah, the mount, like the side
Jack-
of the mountain,
yeah,
right?
on top.
Crushed.
So Jack stabs Liam in the side, and he's like dying and stuff, and then he kicks Liam off of the dragon. Off
Yeah.
his dragon. Liam's
Oh.
free falling.
God.
Free falling. And this is another point where Andarna lends her time stopping
yes.
powers to Violet, and she stops time and allows Taryn and Violet to get to Liam, and like so he doesn't fall to his death. Time restarts again, and then Violet strikes the mountain, the tower that Jack
Oh,
is
yeah,
on, and it
tower.
crumbles down and he falls to his death.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Does the dragon die too, or just Jack? I can't remember.
Just Jack. The
Good.
dragon is like very sad and stuff, but like he'll probably be fine.
I don't care if somebody dies as long as the dragon survives.
I know, it's
True.
so sad.
Honestly. So that was the sleigh part. And then things get more steamy. Lena, do you want to talk about what happens after that? Learns all that stuff. So
Oh my god.
Now we're gonna
Okay, we need like a little theme song. Lena Smut Corner.
Woo!
yes. So this is
Okay.
the steamy romance part of the book that Elena's going
This
to cover.
is
So-
my fucking favorite.
Violet is like in distress about killing Jack, which I get, but I
Fair,
don't
fair,
get. I mean, I
fair.
get it's her first kill.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
so she's all emotional about it. So Xaden comes to her chambers and she's in like a little sleeping gown and she's throwing daggers at her
Uh-huh.
practice target.
I thought that was
Mhm.
so
so fucking slay.
Mhm.
so fucking slay.
And so comes in, they're kind of just talking about the death or whatever, and she's like, "This place is gonna strip me of my humanity," and he was like, "Only if you let it." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then, so she's throwing the daggers, and he literally says, "He's like, that's hotter than it should be."
Mhm.
So true.
Mhm.
So I can't remember exactly, but they get in close proximity, and they're kissing.
Well, okay, you remember he goes, "You want to hit me? Hit me. You want to yell at me? Yell at me. I
yes.
can take it." And then she's like, "I don't want it. Like hitting him's the last thing I want to do."
she goes,
And then he goes, "Show me what you got." And then she kisses him.
Ooh.
And then he's
So-
like, he's all like shocked for
Yeah.
a second, and then he's like,
And then he's like, "You're not in the right state of mind." Once again, you're
Yeah.
not in the right state of mind. She's like, "I want this. I want you."
"Yeah."
So they start on the desk.
Oh, the
yeah, that's so-
desk.
Oh my god, it's so
It's
good.
so good.
It's so good. What?
What were you gonna say, Jordan?
It's so
Jordan's
good. but
critique corner.
This is my only critique. I thought the smut
We're
in
like-
this book was great. A lot of times, I like smut, but sometimes in a book,
Debatable.
if this no, I do. I
I'm just
really do.
kidding. I'm
I
teasing you.
love a smutty book. I love a dark romance. I love a good smut scene, and I loved the smut in this scene.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, okay, I get the point of the desk. I get it. It's like sexy, but the bed's right there.
No.
Isn't that more comfortable?
Oh my god! This is Lena's smart corner.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Okay. So they start on the desk.
Uh huh.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, Violet is 1 foot.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's too small. It's not optimal.
Oh,
for-
he's too tall too.
he's so tall.
So they're like
He's
trying to
so
like,
tall and muscly.
fucking. He just is too.
And
Tall.
it's-
He's too
it-
tall and handsome and strong and brave.
They
Mhm.
literally cannot fuck that way.
Yeah,
So
physically.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm not gonna go into. It's gonna get. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into detail what he's doing on the desk to her. Let your imagination go crazy.
Yeah.
So he picks her up, takes her to, puts her back against the armoire,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's when insertion.
Where was
This is
the
the
insertion?
craziest way you could have said
Yeah.
that.
Penetration.
Dude.
That's when his dick gets whipped
Yes, yes.
Woo.
She whips
So
his dick out.
they're banging on the armoire.
out. Mm-hmm.
Literally breaks it.
Yeah.
Literally,
with,
like.
with
And she lights the curtains on fire.
Wait, I'm not there yet. I'm
Oh,
not
sorry,
there
sorry,
yet.
sorry,
so was
So
it a different point? Wasn't it the curtains?
no.
Okay, we're
guys,
cutting this.
guys,
Go, go, go.
We're cutting this.
I did my homework. Okay. So they're banging on the armoire. It literally splinters and breaks. And Xaden pulls his shadows out and
Ugh.
then keeps her protected with his shadows.
Aw.
And then
So
so
that.
they move from the armor. It's broken. It's in smithereens.
Next.
How is Violet not breaking?
Dude, he's breaking
Her
everything
pelvic bone
else.
should be fractured. Anyways,
Yeah.
Mhm.
so they move from the
She's got
armoire.
a strong ass pelvic bone, but that's it.
Mhm.
That pussy got gripped.
Okay, keep going.
So then they move to like window area, but it's mostly just like the curtains on the wall. And so they're banging on that, of course. And then she smells burning, like singeing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fucking curtains light on fire. Once again, Xaden covers her with his shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so they move to the floor. Climax. Violet had multiple climaxes. Oh,
Wasn't it like 4?
there was like 4. And then, but Xaden
Slay.
does. And so, no, I can't remember if there's lightning in this scene.
Yeah.
Was
Remember,
it-
lightning is what catches the curtains on fire.
True. Is it? It's outside.
It's
oh yeah.
outside.
Oh,
She-
outside.
literally
Yes, like a
a
tree
small-
catches on fire.
a small forest fire.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
By their banging.
Oh my god, a literal
So
forest fire.
fucking
Okay, I
slay.
remember now.
Okay,
Mhm.
now I have some quotes.
Oh, thank God.
And then wait, this was not there was another smutty part, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
there's
okay.
two.
I have notes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I have to do this in front of Raven. This is crazy.
That's okay.
So, as they're banging, the power is like going crazy inside of fucking because she just got her signet.
Right.
So the power is just over the limit.
Wait, I have a complete tangent that I'm gonna.
Yeah, totally
Do
fine.
you think that Schmeagol and Taryn can
Yes.
feel when?
Oh yes.
Interesting.
That's why when he's like, "I bring the ring leader."
Oh my God, I love that part. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry I interrupted. you.
Okay. I feel crazy reading this out loud.
Our producer's gone.
Okay. Xaden, I cry out, simultaneously writhing yet holding on to him. Like he's the only thing anchoring me to the earth. I've got you, Violet. He promises, his breath ragged, pants against my lips. Let it out.
Oh
my God.
That.
Literally
Mhm.
dying. So good.
I've got
Yeah.
you, Violet.
I've got you.
Let it
So-
out.
Like he doesn't care. He doesn't care. This whole place could be on fire. He does not care.
The man does not give a single fuck.
The man
I
does not
love
give.
that.
Oh,
The
that was
smut
so
was
hot.
so.
I really
Good.
liked the smut in this book. Like,
I know.
good.
You guys think I'm smut haters just because I don't like the smut in like Blood and Ash, but I loved the smut in this book. I thought it was so
I know.
good.
And this was written by a woman of God.
yeah, it was written
There's
by a
nothing
woman
wrong
of
with
God.
that. But I'm just saying, I didn't know that.
It's a shock.
You know what? It's shocking.
Positive shock.
It was about. Oh, the smut was so good.
It's so fucking good.
Oh, you're good.
Smut was so good.
So fucking good.
All right. So, all right. Should we go to the next smut scene?
Don't-
Oh, wait. Hold on. So Zane spends the night.
Yeah.
Yes.
They cuddling. So
Mhm.
cute.
So
So
cute.
cute.
Mhm.
You know, Violet's in a state of mind where she's like, I really like him. I don't know if I should.
Mhm.
Like, she's like, I think I'm falling in love with him. I don't know. Like, it's just really intense. I thought it was cute. He left a little bouquet of violets on the bedstand.
Oh, yeah.
On the
Oh my
nightstand.
god.
So
love
cute.
that.
That was really, really cute.
So cute.
I love a character that is like super broody and like kind of like tough and like mean to everybody, but so sweet too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is another part where we
Totally.
find. So after they bang, they're naked, whatever. This is where we find out why Xaden has 107 scars on him, which
Oh,
was a really
yes.
sad part.
Mhm.
It's because it's a reminder to him that he holds up like an honor to do for the children of the rebellion.
Yes.
Because
Right.
instead of everybody getting one,
So
he took all of them, right?
and no, instead of them all dying,
Oh yeah, he got
he said
whipped a bunch.
send them into the college and make them
Mhm.
riders, so at least they had the chance to live.
Mm-hmm.
I will be responsible for all 107 of them, and he got 107 like cuts in the back.
okay,
of
there we go. I was like,
in his back
I'm forgetting
as a
what the marks
reminder
are.
of his responsibility.
Oh yes, that was
So like
good.
if they were to do something like treacherous, then he would be killed.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
responsible for all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super intense, super honorable, super hot.
Yeah. Period.
So I think this is where they start talking through the bond.
I think they been talking through
They've
the
been
bond
talking
before.
through the bond.
Have
before
they?
This. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but this
I think-
is like
Okay.
now they're like slaying through the bond.
So now Violet starts to get jealous because she thinks Imogen is into
Yeah.
Xaden.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
But
Mhm.
but Imogen was into
Garrick.
Garrick.
So true. The drama.
Yes.
Yes.
And so the next anyways, they're like, I only like you, I only got eyes for you, blah blah blah. Anyways, he thought it was cute that she was jealous.
Mm-hmm.
So What was the fucking event where her mom was there? What was that called?
So
That was
there
the
was the
ball.
ball,
The
and that
ball.
was supposed to be. It was like marking, I think, the end of the rebellion,
Which
because
was-
none of the marked children
Mhm.
were there,
Yep.
Which is also was the day that fucking Zayden's dad died.
and everybody else's
Yeah,
parents.
like, it's
Literally,
fucking
everybody's parents
So-
were murdered, and
Executed.
now
Yeah.
there's like this ball to commemorate that
And-
day.
Brennan's alleged death.
Oh
was
yeah,
this
Yes,
day. So-
true.
In
we didn't even talk about Brennan.
We'll talk about him at the end.
Yeah, at this point, we like Brennan. I mean,
is
yeah,
is dead for all we
Brennan
know.
is dead for all we know, and he was killed by Zayden's dad, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Okay. So yeah.
So Zayden's MIA the whole day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She can't talk to him through the bond.
She's confused.
I think she was asking the dragons. They didn't know what
She was
to s-
asking Liam.
Yeah,
Mhm.
everyone. She was sad. She's like, I'm in. She's also like realizing she's like, I think I'm in love with him. Like,
Mhm.
help me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So she goes to the ball. She's in a sexy little dress.
Mhm.
Blah blah blah. She sees her mother. Her mom's a bitch. Bye.
Yeah.
So she's like, fuck it. I'm gonna go find Zayden. So she goes out there. Everyone's like, don't talk to Zayden. Blah 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 blah. He's on the parapet.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes out there in her little dress,
Mhm.
walks out there, finds him, and he's like, Violence, what are you doing? You can't be out here, you're gonna die, and then I'll die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, are you trying to kill me?
Yeah. Oh.
yeah. So she goes out there. She talks him pretty much literally off a cliff.
Mhm.
And they
They go back to his room, and she is not supposed to be like lower classmen are not supposed to be in the upperclassmen's like
Mm.
boarding area, basically his room. And so he takes her back to.
but they also admitted to one another that like they want each other. Like this was like
Yeah.
the stamp of approval.
Right, because she was like, stop being a pussy. Like, I know you care about me. I know you want me. Like, I want you. And then he was like, yes.
He's like, it's
I
always
I
been
want to
you.
do this. It
Yeah.
was like that, like approval moment.
Also, when I forget who she's talking. Oh, his cousin Bodhi was his
Yeah.
name.
Mhm.
She was like, I need to find Zayden, and then so cute. She was like, I'm his. I'm just his.
Yeah, I like
so
that a lot.
cute.
So cute.
So they go back to her room. Not
His
her
room.
His room. Things get spicy. She's taking off
Mhm.
his clothes. She's
Oh,
like, I'm gonna take care of you. It was
Yes.
really cute and spicy. And he was like, you should leave because I'm gonna fuck you.
She's
Pretty much
like,
that was
yeah,
it.
she's like, I'm staying.
She was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay here.
Mhm.
So, oh god, this part is so good, guys. Oh my
I think
god.
I know what you're gonna read.
Okay, so Zayden is doing the cunnilingus. Sorry.
Cuddle, or I don't know. Cuddlingus?
Cunnilingus.
Cuddling? Oh, whatever.
Good connulingus.
Cunnilingus to sweet old Violet.
Sweet.
Sweet old Polly Pocket.
So yeah, she's in the mood.
Yeah, he's fucking
She's
getting into her
Pocket
Polly
pussy.
Pocket pussy.
Pussy. Jesus.
gorilla grip Polly Pocket. Okay, so she's in the mood and she says, "Oh gods,"
Mm-hmm.
and he says, "Which one are you calling out for?" Because it's just you and me in the room, V, and I don't share. Oh my god,
Dude.
I loved that part.
I just saw that quote the other day and I forgot that was from this book. I literally thought that was
Oh
from
my-
like
So
another
good.
romance,
And
dark,
so
smutty
good.
book I read.
and I don't
That-
share.
I love that. Ooh.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I was like,
Excuse me.
Yeah, I love that part.
So good. So they be
Mhm.
fucking. I think there was like 6 orgasms.
they were like counting.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
There was it was like let's make it 4, let's make it 5, whatever. And so they're literally like
she's
Dick,
riding him.
Dick is inside her, and then
Oh wait, a window breaks.
okay,
Oh,
lightning
yeah.
is striking.
Lightning
Windows
striking again.
windows are literally blowing up.
Yep.
The fire is
Sha-
back.
He's
in the
like, it's
forest.
fine. I'll fix it later.
Shadows are protecting them.
Mm-hmm.
He tries to like block her view, just like so she doesn't see her destruction. But he's and she's like, "Oh my god, what I do?" And he was like, "It's fine, baby."
Yeah.
It's fine, girly pop. Don't even worry.
Yeah, don't worry, honey. And so, literally, she's riding him, and he was like,
Somebody knocks
It's
on the door,
Garrick, isn't it?
basically.
"Yeah, Garrick's like, you and Sorengale got to get out of here. People are dying."
We're being attacked.
And Violet wears his riding
Oh,
coat.
I
So
thought that was
cute.
Oh my
cute.
god.
So cute.
Yeah. that was
Yes,
so
and then
cute.
yes, so basically does everybody get sent? I think out, even the first years, everybody is getting sent out to their posts. But actually, you know what? I think when they get to the whatever, the area they're meeting, I think they find out that this is the beginning of the war games, right?
Yes.
Or
Sorry.
no, go ahead.
One last thing for Smut Corner.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
go ahead.
They were talking dirty through their minds.
Oh,
I fucking love that trope.
That was perfect.
It's so good.
because she was like, I don't even have the energy to say anything out loud.
No, because he was like reading her mind.
Yeah.
telepathic
So-
dirty talk.
Oh my god, that
So
does me
good.
in. It's so hot, so sexy. Okay, keep going. War games.
Maybe Adalia, do you want to go over this part? Like basically
Yes.
after the
Okay, so they're like, oh, we're getting attacked. Just kidding. It was all a big
it's a
fucking
ruse.
joke. It's actually the beginning of the war games, which is like supposed to be like the end of the year, like competition, you know, and they never really
I
go
think
like
it's-
hard into it, right?
Yeah, they're very vague about it. I think it determines maybe who the next year's squad leaders are or something
Something
like
like
that.
that,
Something
yeah.
like that. Or maybe they get a prize.
Yeah, the
I
war
don't
games
know.
were kind of like
Yeah, and so they're like, okay, you're getting sent off here. You guys are getting sent off here, kind of grouping up and stuff. And the dragons are getting everyone ready to like go off to their different posts.
Mhm.
And Violet is supposed to go with Rhiannon and like her typical squad, like her section,
Mhm.
and Dane and all of them. And then all of a sudden, Xaden comes over and is like, no, you're coming with me. Like, our dragons can't be separated. That was kind of like mostly his
Mhm,
excuse. Excuse.
Excuse.
Excuse. Like, you know, our dragons can't be separated, blah blah blah. Like fighting with Dane about that, and then being like, oh well, you know, she's safer with me anyways, like Xaden
Yeah.
knowing that. And then Dane touches her face. This is a very integral moment, and goes like, I'll miss you, Violet. Like blah blah blah. Like
Snake.
basically yelling at Xaden, you're gonna get her killed, whatever. And so she ends up going off with Xaden and his squad to
all marked.
all marked people off to a place beyond the wards, so out of Navarre.
Mhm.
And it's in one of the sections of Promadel. So they go off to this post that's outside of the wards in the Griffin territory. And it's important to note that this was where Xaden was previously on like a secret mission. He didn't tell Violet what it was about, but just the location.
I mean, he did tell her where it was, and that is kind of, I don't know, trusting.
Oh, for sure.
I
Yeah,
know.
for sure.
They don't lie to each other.
Especially for Xaden, like he keeps a lot of
Yeah.
secrets. So they get to that post after flying, and Andarna is with them, which is, you know, she's a baby. She can't really keep up.
Mhm.
She has to get hooked to her saddle attachment to
Mhm.
Taran's saddle, like kind of to like have support to keep up. And so she's with them. And because at this point they think it is still the war games. They don't think it's like actual battle. They get to the outpost and they see that it's completely deserted, and they're like, oh shit, like something's going on, like something bad. And I forget who, I think Liam might have found the note or something, but there's a note that's left for Xaden, like basically from Dane's dad, who is Colonel Adios. Is he the colonel? I think he's the colonel. Yeah. And
think so.
it's basically like, we know that you're traitors, like have fun dying kind of thing. You know, like you can either fight to save the city of the enemy city, which is the Griffin territory, or you can fly home right now. Kind of like, where do your loyalties lie kind of test. And this is where Violet discovers that not everything was as it seemed with Xaden, because they were doing like trade agreements, giving weaponry to the Griffin flyers, and Violet kind of has this like very, very small freak out, which I was like, she got over it in like half a page, which is,
Yeah.
I was a little bit like, really, like he just betrayed you and lied to you, and like you kind of just like, okay.
Yeah, wasn't she? They were being kind of. They got to the post or whatever, and they were being all lovey-dovey, and then the
Griffin Riders pull
Griffin
up.
Riders roll up, and she's like, what the fuck? What's going
Yeah.
on? And the Griffin Riders basically blows Xaden's cover, and then Xaden has to
Yes.
come clean and basically is like, Violet, life is not what it seems. Like,
Yeah.
Vernon are real, Wervins are real, like, this other territory that we are supposed to, what is it, Paromial, they are not the enemy. We are, like, Navarre is hiding so much from you. We have been giving them guns and weapons because the Vernon are actually the threat, and
Mhm.
Navarre has basically abandoned Paromial, and if we don't help them fight, the Vernon are going to get past the wards and they're going to come and attack us. And I think they get energy. Like, if they were to take down this ward, they would get that energy and, like, become way stronger.
Mhm.
And Violet, yeah, has a freak out. She's like, what the fuck? Because everybody thinks Vernon and Wervin are part of fables, like fairy tales. And so, yeah, and then they find the note. I think, yeah, it said either go home or go to the town, or stay at the post or go to the town.
Yeah,
Either
it
way.
was like fight for these, because the Vernon were descending on the village.
Yes, and they were
And
gonna
they
fuck
were
up
gonna
the
kill
village.
them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like fight and be traitors, or like
Mm-hmm.
be loyal to Navarre and like fly back.
Yeah, and Violet, well, Xaden's like, we are going. Like, everybody here is part of something bigger, and you are basically stupid. You're the only person that doesn't know. Well, he didn't say that. He didn't say that, but he's
She
like,
is basically
listen,
stupid.
everybody here, we're all marked. We are part of the rebellion. We're continuing our parents' legacy. We're good people. We're going to go fight. And I forgot if I don't know if he consoles her much at all, but she's like, you know what? I'm going to fight with you, right?
I
She's
mean, no,
like,
yeah. So he actually is like, I'm gonna fight, but I don't
okay.
like. I'm not gonna force anyone else to
Yeah.
fight
Mhm, mhm.
because I can't ask that of you, because they were basically going to like die. They were going to go face 4 Vernon, which is like, they're incredibly powerful. So 4 is like a very dangerous number. And he goes, I'm gonna go fight. You guys don't have to. But obviously everyone wants to, like Imogen and Liam and Garrick and Brody. They all want to go fight
Mhm.
with their dragons. And then Violet recalls what one of the Griffin Flyers said to her. It was like, you can't expect a Soaring Gale to protect someone outside of her own territory. Like, very
Oh,
like
yeah.
putting her down because she's a Soaring Gale. And she was like, fuck that. Like,
Mhm.
I'm going to go do what's right, and I'm going to protect these innocent people.
Violet has such a quick turnaround.
I know. I was so surprised. Like, she was like, oh, all right. Like,
I'll give her the benefit of
over
the
it
doubt.
in like a page.
Yeah, she kind of suspected, I guess, maybe this.
She just was like in her ignorance and didn't want to like really look.
Yeah,
Deeper.
but still, this turnaround was so quick.
Okay. Anyway, let's continue on.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So it's the battle.
The battle. So everyone's getting their shit beat out of them. Like, it's
Yeah.
going down. They've got Wervin, riderless Wervin. So that's interesting to like point out, because it's not like a dragon, one dragon, one rider kind of situation. Like with the Wervin, there's multiple Wervin who are kind of just like flying around, like fucking shit up. And they're essentially the same size as the dragons. They're very similar to the dragons. They just don't have 4 legs. They only have 2. And so, you know, there's like that whole like physical like ability, like they can like really hurt a dragon, versus like a griffin is a lot smaller than a dragon. And so the Venom are like wielding these powers because they don't have to have a like dragon to manifest their powers. They can channel through themselves.
It's backwards also. Like, so the Vernon, I don't know if they can make Wervin, but when a Vernon dies, all of the, they can create
they
Wervin.
make them, yeah.
So if a Vernon dies, all of the Wervin they have created will die as well. But the Vernon are like incredibly hard to kill. They're these nasty, they have like purple robes, and they have like, I imagine them to be like bald and pale, but
Yeah.
also they have red eyes with like crazy red veins coming off of their
yeah, very
eyes. So it's
ugly.
like very ugly, scary, like icky. And I imagine them to have like scary mouths, like little shark
What's
teeth.
the guy in Harry Potter?
Voldemort?
Yeah,
Voldemort vibes.
Voldemort vibes.
Yeah,
literally.
that's how I was picturing
Yeah,
it.
Except
like very
worse.
like zombie, like
Yeah, but like
kind of like
Gross,
weird, like
lizardy.
yeah, like ghoulish.
Yes, they're
Ghoulish.
ghouls.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Werven are like, I feel like they're almost, since they're created, they have like no fear or anything, and
Yeah,
you know,
they're,
like they're hard to kill and they're
soldiers.
just like nasty.
They're soulless.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they
yeah,
are.
versus like a dragon has like feelings and emotions and stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think Xaden is down on the ground or something. No,
Yes.
is he on the ground? Yeah, he's down on the ground trying to get the townsfolk through this like
Yes. into the mines.
into the
to
mines
save
to get them out, and then Violet and everybody, not everybody else, but Violet and some other people are up in the sky fighting.
Yes.
And Adarna is not there at that time. She got left behind because Violet was like, "You
You're
are gonna die. You
You're a
need to
baby.
stay back."
Yeah.
And
She wanted to fight.
she
Yeah,
wanted to
did.
fight. Yeah, she did, but,
But
she
she
didn't.
doesn't have claws.
She baby.
No, she
She
is
has
literally
paws.
yes, she's a baby. She's literally like
Like
so small.
She's like literally a child.
She's so baby girled.
She's so baby girl. But anyway, so the battle continues, and this is
Shit goes crazy.
Shit goes crazy.
Shit goes down, and so the thing is with the venom is like there's only a specific weapon that can kill them. Dragonfire doesn't affect them.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what makes them so dangerous. You have to get up close and personal and like dagger them in the heart, essentially. So that's why a lot of the riders started dismounting their dragons and fighting on the ground, like Xaden and Garrick and Brody, because they were trying to
Is
dagger.
it Brody or Bodie?
It might be Bodie. You know what? I think it's Brody.
Brody.
I think
That's
I've been
okay.
saying Brody.
Close
It's okay,
enough.
same person.
Yeah. You guys know what I mean.
Yes.
So they've been trying to dagger the venom in the heart, which is like very hard because they have all these crazy powers. They're like very corrupted, like magic wielders. And so Taryn is like, you can't unseat yourself because Violet is like weak as shit, and if she goes down there, she's gonna die.
She's
Mhm.
yeah.
So she's trying to wield her lightning in a way that's killing off the Werven, but she
she has shit.
she
aim.
has shit aim. She
Oh,
hasn't
yeah.
been
She has.
What about
she
that?
hasn't
just
been, like,
got it.
wielding lightning for very long at all, and so she's like, it's really difficult for her to aim, and she ends up taking out a couple of Werven, but then like a bunch of Werven and a venom actually get onto Taryn's back, and they're like digging into him, and he's trying to shake them loose, but she's like, no, I have to go kill him. Like, I have to go kill them. So she unsaddles herself and goes and walks off on across Taryn's back up to the venom, and the venom's like fucking her shit up, like bad.
How did she not just fucking crumple over and die?
Dude.
I think
This
she
one?
gets scratched at this point, right?
She does. She gets
Or
stabbed
stabbed.
in
Yeah.
the side by
Yes.
the poison blade.
Yes. Yes.
So she's like, oh my god, I'm dying.
Mhm.
And then
She was.
Xaden is like, let's level the playing field. He uses his shadows to completely like blind the venom, and so Violet's able to like dagger him in the heart like real quick and kind of end it like that really fast, and while she's like bleeding out. And then this is when we discover that if you kill a venom, the Werven that it created die. So I think like 2 or so Werven die at this point. And meanwhile, all this is happening, Xaden is trying to keep up his shadow wall to keep the townspeople and all the Werven like kind of away, but he's obviously like struggling. And so even as Violet's like dying from the poison, she's like, you need to let them down, and we need to kill the last 2 venom because that's the only way we're gonna like win this.
Mm-hmm.
So he lets the shadow wall down. I believe. Oh yeah, he kills one of the venom by whipping the shadow like lasso around its throat and then pulling it to the ground and staggering it through the heart.
Slay.
Very slay maneuvers are occurring.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And so once the venom are dead, Violet's like, oh my god, I'm dying, like, and
Did she like blackout?
yes, she does black out. Wait, guys,
I was gonna
What?
say we forgot about an important part.
Yeah,
Liam.
Liam
baby,
How are we
Freaking-
forgetting this?
our baby boy.
Liam.
I literally cried so
This
hard.
was a really sad part.
I cried.
I didn't cry.
Well, I cried.
I didn't cry either.
Well, I cried. Basically,
It was
I
sad.
can't remember exactly what happened.
Violet and Liam became like BFFs.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
So, okay. this is the part when the Venin and the Wervin are like chasing Terran around, and like everyone's like, this is in the heat of it, and one of the Wervin like kind of is about to basically like fuck Terran's shit up, like really like kind of T-bone him, and so Liam jumps off of his dragon. Wait. No, okay. Liam gets stabbed in the side. No, this is Liam dies.
I know, I'm kind of forgetting.
All I remember is that
He falls.
I remember his
I think
quote.
he falls.
No,
so
no,
the
no, 'cause his
dragon
dragon
dies. He
dies.
doesn't die, but his dragon dies, and I fucking
Oh.
was crying so hard
Oh my God.
when basically his dragon was dead on the ground and he was gonna die quickly. Like, I don't think anything actually happened to him specifically,
No,
but
yeah.
I think the Wervin attacked the dragon got killed. He is on the ground. He's asking Violet to take him to the dragon, and she
Ugh.
can't because she's too weak, and it's really emotional.
Too much of a
And
loser.
Zayden shows up and he carries him over to the dragon,
His
and I'm
best
fucking
friend.
bawling my eyes
Dang.
out. It's so fucking sad. But he's like, just bring me next to the dragon. Like, I don't remember her name. but
Dang.
Yeah, and
it's
then
so sad.
Violet says bye to him. Thanks for protecting me, blah, blah,
Ugh,
blah. And
yeah.
he says, it's been my honor.
and
dies.
Zayden is crying,
So
and
sad.
like it's really,
It's
really,
sad.
really
It's
depressing.
It's really sad.
Liam was a really good character.
Yes,
He
Liam
was.
was so sweet. I
There-
loved him.
There was something I wanted to bring up with the ball scene, like him escorting Violet.
Oh, yes.
Even though
Yeah.
the ball was celebrating
I
the
know.
His parents'
execution of his
freaking death.
parents, and he was like, "Well, because Violet had saved his life," and he goes, "Well, I owe you. Like, you're my friend. Like, you saved me. Like, I can bear a party for you." And
I
it was just
know.
so
He just wanted to
sweet.
protect
He was a
Violet.
good
It was so
person.
Because he
sweet.
loves Zayden, and then he started to love Violet. It's just sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, and so that was so sad because his dragon and the Wervin were like in death grip, like
Yes, I
death
think they
lock.
were.
Yes.
Yeah, literally
Like,
going.
and the
Mhm.
Wervin ended up fucking dragging up, and then Terran blasts the Wervin to. Remember the Wervin trying to like crawl away on its little
Mhm.
broken, shredded wings, and Terran's
Oh.
like, hell no, and he smites him.
Yep.
Anyway, at the end of the battle, yeah, she passes out. The poisoned freaking dagger gets her, and basically Zayden takes Violet back to a town that they thought was burned down during the rebellion, but turns out it wasn't. And it's basically like a rebellion post, and now she's part of the rebellion because she agreed to go with them. She can't go back to the war college. What is the town called again? Do we know? I think I wrote it down.
Aerith? No, it's like something short.
Aridia.
Aridia.
So she goes to
Jeez.
Aridia. She wakes up in Aridia,
Mhm.
and this
She
part
doesn't
shocked
recognize
me.
where she's at.
yeah,
She doesn't recognize where she's at. She has like kind of a weird. I felt like it was kind of a weird moment with Zayden. I don't know. Like I was like,
yeah,
well, because by then she's like, oh, it's fine that you.
right, because then I think
lied
she
to
was
me.
having like a little bit of amnesia
Yeah.
because she was like, sorry for what, and then like a minute later she was like, wait, I'm mad at you.
Yeah, but then she
Which I was
also
like, thank
kind of like
God.
dropped it. It was weird because when they went into the battle, I feel like she was still like, you betrayed me. But then by the time all this happened, she's like, it's fine. I don't know. It felt kind of like weird in
It
that
was
moment to me. I
rushed.
felt like, I felt like the ending was rushed. I also felt like, I don't know. I was like, doesn't feel like her right in this very
Mhm.
moment. Like it was
Yeah.
just kind of awkward. But anyway, and then
Dun dun dun. Big
dun
reveal.
dun dun.
Dude, her brother, Brennan, is alive.
Yep, he walks
Alive.
in. He like knocks on the door, and Zayden's like,
Oh, Zayden has like a weird reveal. He's like,
Oh yeah, he's
What
like
does he say?
he's so impatient or like some shit like that.
yeah, or something like that.
And then Brennan's like, is that my sister over there? And she's
Mhm.
like, Brennan? And he's like, welcome to the rebellion. And then it ends.
he's like, welcome
Mhm.
to the revolution, Violet.
The revolution.
Kind of a slay last line.
I loved
Super
that.
slay.
Honestly,
Super
I really
slay.
was not. I was not.
I wasn't
seeing-
expecting that.
because I know that some
Yeah.
people were like, "Oh, obviously," but I was like, "What?"
I didn't
Because
see
the
that. No, I
whole
didn't see it.
freaking book, they're like, Brennan is dead. Brennan is dead. Brennan is dead. They mention it so many times that he has been dead and he got murdered, and like she was really sad and she missed him so much.
Yeah.
And then turns out he's alive, which was so slay. I love that part. I was like, yes.
No, that
Yeah.
was like
I
love
was,
that.
Yeah.
I thought the big reveal was that Zayden's working with the rebellion.
I was like, duh. Like that for
I
me.
did see that coming.
That for me, like I read the first fucking page of the book and I was like, I know how this is gonna go.
I
down.
know.
So there's a theory that because this love interest got brought up in the first book out of 5, that it's not going to be continued, and something's going to happen and there's going to be a different love interest, which honestly I love Xaden, but I love like a change up. So like if there's a different love interest and something happens with Xaden, like bring it on. There's 4 more books to
I
go.
wouldn't like
so
that.
No,
I wouldn't
would
like
say
that at
that
all.
If there's somebody
only
better.
Xaden and Taryn are the only redeeming qualities of this whole book.
Yeah, but if there was someone better.
I said it.
I love Xaden, but
I love Taryn. I think
Holy
I love
shit.
Taryn too.
he's the main character.
I
and
love Taryn.
Violet's fucking boring
He
as
was
shit.
so
compared to
funny.
him. Make him. I want the
He
next
was-
book from his POV.
He's so sassy. He's a sassy boy epidemic.
Yes.
Yes, he is a sassy
Can we
boy.
talk about should I bring in the wing leader?
Oh,
When she's training with Professor Carr and he's like,
yes.
just channel the feelings you had last time that you like.
Yes,
Yeah.
the
And she was
lightning.
like, well,
She's
and
like,
then
"Mm."
and then Xaden goes into her mind and is like all sexy, and then she like
Fucking-
is able to like
yeah,
wield
wields
the
power.
lightning. And then
So
Taryn's
slay.
like making fun of her. So slay.
So slay. I thought it was good. I gave it a 5 out of 5.
I gave it a 5 out of 5 too. I do agree Violet is not a very well developed character, but there's
No.
4 more
Yeah.
books to go, so I hope there's going to be some character development and
Yeah.
more depth to her with the next book. Like I said, the next book's looks about 200 pages longer, so or
Yeah.
100 or 200 pages longer. So
When does it come out?
Soon.
November
Oh,
or
thank God.
something.
So
I
we're gonna
already-
go over it very quickly.
I already pre-ordered it.
Slay. I give this book like a 3.5.
Shit, damn.
We got a
Yeah, I don't
critic
know what
over
it
here.
was, but you know what?
Damn.
It just it was it was entertaining in the end. I can't even say it was entertaining in the beginning. Took me almost 3 weeks to read this book. That's not very fast for me.
And to think that you were going to read it in 4 days.
Nah, I would
Oh.
not have survived.
Do you think that your rating and your feelings towards the book have been clouded by the extreme hype over this book? A lot of people are saying that they felt it was so overhyped that their expectations were so high that
I
when they
think
read it, they
so.
did not like it as much as they thought it would.
I think that's true. Especially since I read it last when both you guys gave it 5 stars, and
We were like, yes, read it,
I
it's
was
so good.
kind of expecting a little bit more,
Mhm,
like
mhm.
a little bit, something a little bit deeper, something a little bit more like more planned out, more mapped out. Like it, it really it reads like more like a romance book than a fantasy book.
I totally agree with you. And because I was going to say, like we talked about at the beginning, the author
It's
of
yeah.
this
Mhm.
book is primarily romance author, and I think this book is not this book is for everybody, but it's not for a diehard fantasy fan. It's for a romance reader who wants to get into fantasy
Right.
versus a fantasy
Right.
reader that wants to
Yeah.
get into romance.
I
I think it is more romance based, but I think
Yeah.
the lore is very interesting. I'm very excited to hear what's happening.
Is-
I think that the maps are great. I think the world building could be a lot better because I feel like I have a poor grasp of their world as
Yeah.
of right now. I have a poor grasp of even the college. Like the college is so, like I said, only 2 classes are explained. So
Yeah.
I really hope she gets better at world building in the next book.
Yeah, you know what? And I think that is my thing. I think I just am not a big fan of the way she writes.
That's fair.
Like I think that it's a little bit like yeah, it's just a little bit like just not very like eloquently written. And it's not like I'm expecting that from like a fantasy romance book, but compared to maybe things I've recently read, it was lacking a little bit in that.
Falls
aspect.
flat for you.
A little bit, yeah. And you know what? Like, I loved some aspects of it, but like, it did not slay as hard as I thought it was going to.
I just love the concept of it all.
I
I
do
love
too.
the fact
Yeah.
that the dragon chooses the rider, that it's kind of like Divergent where you get to pick, like once you turn a certain age, you get to pick, do you want to be a scribe,
Mhm.
a writer, a healer, or a infantry? Is that what the last one is?
Oh yeah, and yeah, like the
Like
infiltrate.
weapon, like
Yeah.
the army basically.
Yes.
I found that so interesting and like, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. It probably could have been written better.
Yeah.
I think it was good. I gave it 5 out of 5. I thought it was interesting. I cried. If a book brings me to like tears or makes me have an extreme emotional reaction, I will almost always
5 out of 5.
yeah, 5 out of 5 because that's the point of reading for me.
Right.
Like I want to get a freaking like a reaction from it. I want to feel like
Totally.
gasping and like crying and laughing and you know.
Yeah, totally.
I ate it up. I thought it was good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I agree with you. It's not Throne of Glass. You know what I mean? It's not
What?
super dynamic.
Dude,
It's
yeah.
not. The lore's not super great. The world building's not great, but I still really enjoyed it, and it was kind of a nice break
Mm-hmm.
to not use my brain so much. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
will say though, like going off of Throne of Glass, if I had only read the very first Throne of Glass and read like the Assassin's Blade, I probably would have been like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I want to continue. This is the first book out of 5.
Yeah,
This
that's what I
could
was
be
saying.
at the same level as Throne of Glass. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
Could.
There's 4 more books to
And
go.
I'm hoping maybe I'll get more of that like background that I'm looking for. Like I feel like
yes.
the concept of it was great. Like I loved the ideas, like very original ideas
Mhm.
with the dragon riders and dragons choosing the rider and all
Mhm.
that, and like the griffins. Like I feel like not many fantasy books like have griffins, which is kind of cool.
Yes,
to
I haven't-
implement too. I just feel like it focused a little bit like on the wrong things for me. Like I feel like that was why it was slow in some parts. Is like it was a lot of like, okay, the mat. Okay, I'm wrapping my knee. Okay, I'm like
Yeah.
training with Rhiannon, and it was just like I don't know.
I actually saw somebody complain about the same thing. Somebody said that there was way too much filler type content in
Yes.
it. Like
Yeah, which
a lot of
yeah.
the mat, a lot of them talking just like between the friends.
Yes.
Compared to some other books I've read, I thought there was a fine amount of filler. I didn't think it was too overbearing, but
We know what she's talking about.
series.
but I thought the flow of it was good, but it wasn't like the most like it wasn't start to finish like action packed. There was definitely some lulls in it, but like I said, I thought it was good, but we
Yeah.
will have to see.
You could be having the ACOTAR effect on me where I hated the first book, slay other books.
You know, and I'm gonna definitely read the next because it was dynamic in the way like I want to know what the storyline
Yeah.
happens.
and
what's
the
gonna happen?
the way it
Zayden?
ended,
Oh,
Zay. Okay,
Hopefully
And I
there's more
need
smut.
more Zayden smut because Zayden is so
Mhm.
fucking.
dude. I know
Sexy, dude.
2 sex scenes. We need
It's
more.
not enough.
We need more. At minimum.
Minimum 35.
I was trying to think. I was like 10 or 12 for the next.
Oh my god, 10 or 12? You guys
Why
are
are you
every other
complaining?
chapter.
I'm not complaining.
Smut scene once a chapter. Dude, I wish. My armor.
I like a
Once
good
a chapter.
balance. I like a good balance. I think for the next book, if there was like 5 or 6, I think that would be a perfect balance.
Okay, fine.
Perfect balance.
8.
Yeah.
8.
Like you guys
If
are
it's
in charge
good,
of-
you know,
deciding,
Rebecca,
you know?
8.
I am about quality over quantity. Okay.
Okay, yeah, we know. We get it.
If the
She told me the craziest shit earlier.
What'd you say?
We'll say it off camera.
yeah, we'll tell you.
It's a different
later.
book. It's
Oh,
crazy.
okay.
'Cause
Literally
It'll
insane.
come
Lena-
up later, I guess.
Lena doesn't think I like smut, but then I told her
She
that I
told me-
read Haunting.
No, I said, I was like,
Adeline,
I don't think you like raunchy smut because I
Oh.
was saying Blood and Ash has crazy smut.
But
Mhm.
I read Haunting Adeline and I loved it. And if y'all know what that is,
And
then
there
you will
was,
know.
like,
There's some
I
crazy
wasn't
scenes in that
expecting
book.
this.
We'll talk about it off
And all I
camera.
gotta say is, Raven, watch your back. Like, I was not fucking expecting what she said, what she told me. It was
Oh my god. I have
it
to
was
know.
insane.
Anyway,
Maybe we'll cover Haunting Adeline.
I
Okay.
think we should wrap it
Yeah,
up.
we should wrap it
Okay,
up.
so
This is
we'll
long.
just do an outro.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that was our first episode with the Mystic Maidens. The maidens are sleepy.
Mm-hmm.
Maidens are hungry.
Yep. come back next time and we're going to go over A Court of Thorns and Roses and that whole series. And then when the next, actually, so the series is not called Fourth Wing. The series is called the Empyrean series.
Which I don't like.
The Empyrean. Anyway, the second book, Iron Flame, comes out in November. So we're going to be covering that probably late November. So, well, if we're done with ACOTAR by then. Anyway, sometime after it comes out, we will review that as well. Okay, well, goodbye. Thank you.
Bye. Mystics out. Our maidens out.